by miracle of sound.
Hey two back, welcome be, Wuzzing of Shardbreaker Speak Sound. This Wuzzing the fourth episode, title named Lost Metal Do. Read Read walked from chapter 3-2 to 4-2. Midnight, Wuzzing the host, yeah. Here with Wuzzing me mythic name, also being with darkness, Shadow.
I loved that. That was great. That was
I
great.
hated that.
I loved it. So
So
good.
I have that one, and then I have another one that I wrote, but we can do another some other time.
We
I
can
just
do it
figured it
next
was
episode or something, yeah.
Yeah, which is the way Wayne says it. So I was looking a lot at how the differences, because I went back and started and listened to a bit of the way Spook talks,
hmm
and it's slightly different. So it makes me think that when Spook became as good as he is and made High Imperium, he made it a little different. Or it's just the way Wayne talks. Either way,
Yeah, I'm assuming it might
Wayne
be
definitely has
just
a different one though.
it might
Time.
even just be the fact that like even if Spook always spoke the same, just because it's been 300 years, there might be, even though people still speak
Yeah,
it generally the same way, there might still be some linguistic changes just
that's
from
why I said
Yeah,
time.
time. Because
Yeah.
dialects
but I
do
noticed.
change with time,
Yeah,
so.
but I noticed that he's slightly different. So
hmm
I wrote another one and was like, which one do I want to use? Spook or Wayne's? I kind of wish I had done this in the last Mistborn so that I could have done Spooks then and then do
Yeah.
Wayne's now. But yeah, but it took a while. I wrote that. I took a while for me to figure out how to write that. The
That's
Wuzzing, the do.
amazing.
I had a whole bunch of different ones that went, and I was like, I don't know. Some of these are really like
If you want
Wuzzing,
to go
Wuzzing, Wuzzing.
crazy, you could also do the
Yeah.
numbers as the metals that they represent. You could be using like
Oh, I
iron,
could. You're right.
tin, and aluminum, copper as the numbers.
You're right. I could do that. That'd be funny. Oh my god.
Since they use the metals as the 16 first numbers and everything.
Yeah. Well, that would. I mean, hey, I'm so glad that I got to do that this time because it took me forever to figure that out, and
That was
I was like,
awesome.
they're both gonna hate it. 'Cause I'm
No, I
just,
think it's cool. You obviously put a lot of effort into it, so.
I did a lot of effort into that.
All right, so let's get right into our chapters then. Now that Mythic's introduced us. So we're starting with chapter 32, which starts with Wax's point of view as Kim, aka Moonlight, leads them to the Sentinel of Truth office, which is made of an old fishing shacks, which is what the city used to be made of before they started making all the new buildings about 5 years ago. Moonlight also mentions that the releases have been sporadic, but still happening, as she mentions waiting 6 weeks for the continuation of one of Alamancer Jack's stories, which Wax rolls his eyes at as he isn't a fan of Jack and him taking advantage of the survivorist hype that is happening. They try opening a side door after knocking, but it's locked, so Wax goes to break the window, but Marassi stops him. Wayne then also goes to break the window, and Marassi also stops him, insisting that the person may just be out and they can wait a few minutes before checking in with them. Wax is surprised when Wayne backs down easily and instead goes to get some street food. The rest of them relax, and Wax thinks that his way of doing things is wrong and old-fashioned. However, as he's contemplating this, he notices movement in the window of the building's attic. He pushes himself up onto the roof and can see the person inside had noticed and was trembling while holding a gun. Thinking that a set member wouldn't be trembling like this, Wax calls out that he's a cop and that he's looking into what happened to Tobal. The woman gives in and agrees to let Wax in through the back door. Wax and the others meet the woman at the back, and she continuously refers to Wax as Jack's friend.
I
Wayne
hate this woman so much.
Wayne also has some street food that Wax thinks looks disgusting, and Wayne replies that street food is supposed to look disgusting. He also says it's called chowta. So first of all, what do you think about this woman being like so freaked out?
Well, once again, I hate this woman so much. But at the same time, like, ha- didn't he use his like metal to see her though through the
Yeah,
wall or something?
that's what I was trying to kind of imply with the gun. I think I just didn't write it very well
Yeah,
in
like he
that one
used his
sentence.
metal to see
Yeah,
her,
he
and
uses
then like
his steel sight.
could tell the difference of somebody who was like not scared versus someone scared because they were trembling in his
Yeah, you can
like
see the gun kind of like
view.
twitching and shaking.
Cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
hmm
But it honestly just reminds me. He reminds me a lot of like the way that Kelsier was before, where Kelsier was like, uh, he could do things that were just insane, like some of the things he did
hmm
in his time, and that's kind of what Wax reminds me of is just that ability.
Yeah, well, because
But
I mean,
yeah,
Wax obviously only has his two abilities, so he's very specialized in his abilities. And Kelsier was
mhm,
specifically kind of like, although he was a Mistborn, he very specifically specialized in steel and iron, which is
yeah.
why they're kind of similar because they both kind of have that sort of specialization.
Would you
So
say
yeah,
that they were what's the thing called? Uh, Savants in
yeah,
it?
savants. I'm not sure if he did do really
Can you
amazing
be
things. I was gonna say
can
that
you
I'm not.
be a savant in can you do be a savant in when if you only have one medal?
Yeah, no, Spook was a savant.
Okay.
Remember, he became a savant by the end, and he only had one medal.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it's okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
maybe they're just
I think it was more common that Mistings ended up being savants because they were only using their one metal all the time, whereas Mistborns it was less likely they'd become a savant because generally they were like using a bunch of different types of metals, and so they weren't like focusing in on one. I think also it was more common, obviously, that like people who were kind of in the underworld, where like Vin and Kelsier and everyone was, they were more likely also to be savants because they were constantly using their abilities, whereas like a normal like noble misting back in the day, or even just like normal people with abilities here who maybe like don't have a reason to be using their abilities all the time might not get to that level just because they're not using it as frequently as like someone who has to would be.
yeah. I don't know. But your question was that if how will we think about these people, this
Yeah, that's
person?
what you thought of her
I just
initial
she's
thoughts.
annoying. She's just annoying though. And then not even that, she's annoying, and then it's like her whole demeanor flips. Like I couldn't clock where or how. It was just like, oh well, now I'll just do all this talking and
I
like
think it's
I'm not scared of you. I'm
after.
like,
I think it's after the end of this chapter because remember she gives them like a little test of like, well, what did you think Tobal was going on about? And like when Marassi
yeah. And
gets
then
it
they talk
correct,
about the
she kind of
gun.
like, okay,
Yeah,
they are
the
actually in
bomb.
on this and know about it. So she kind of was like, I think she kind of had like a sudden like, okay, I think I trust these people. They're not here to kill me. What did you think, Darkness, about her
Um,
initially?
I didn't hate her, but I definitely did not like her. Like, I do agree she was pretty annoying in the beginning.
Yeah.
Also, did you catch on to Wayne eating chowta? Do you remember what chowta is?
No, but I know it was a thing because like it was highlighted in the book.
Mm.
So sometimes
I
when a lot of people like
could not remember what
uh
it was.
when a lot of people take note of something, it'll highlight in the
Oh, really? In your ebook?
Ah,
So yeah, so chowta is Herdasian street food that Lopin from Stormlight Archive talks about, and Callan also thinks is kind of gross and implies you eat it with your hands. So somehow Rosharans have gotten to Scadrial and brought chowta with them, and they're now
great,
selling it in Bilming.
great.
yeah.
And I
Okay.
believe
Or
chowta. Hmm?
Lopin is in here.
Maybe Lopin could be. This
Open.
this series does take place after Stormlight 5, which is kind of the culmination of the like current Stormlight stuff
The
that's happening.
culmination of cultivation.
God, I
um
can't. I'm gonna sound so crazy when we
mm,
get to the point with when we get to meet the other World Hopper people.
the Ghost
That
Bloods.
oh my God, I have so many theories about both of the two of
Oh,
the
I'm
fucking new
sure.
people.
I'm sure.
Oh,
But yeah, also, so I was gonna say as well as Chowta is specifically, at least on the Shattered Plains, when Lopin's getting it, it's mainly made of soul casted meat, which is basically like mystery meat because they're soul casting it out of like random shit. So I don't know what meat they're using here, if someone's like brought a soul caster or if they're just like using like random really cheap meat or something, but I think it's basically kind of like a wrap, like a donair or something.
Mystery meat is a thing.
Yes.
I just want you to
I
know
think
that.
it's I know, but I'm saying like it's even more of a mystery on Storm like 'cause it's like literally like random soulcast meat.
we getting spam? Is that what we're doing?
Maybe. But yeah, so it's kind of like a wrapped like meat handheld thing, kind of like a donair or something. Is what chowta is.
Interesting.
So yeah, once they're inside, the woman asks if Wax can get Jack to come help, but he replies he's busy on an adventure and makes up some stuff when she asks him about a spear. Wayne
Does he
whispers
actually know Jack? Like,
they've met. They don't
Okay.
like each other,
So-
but they've met.
But the way that he talks, I thought maybe he was just like leading her on, to like
I
get
think
in here.
I think he mentions throughout this book, and I think maybe the last book, whenever Jack's mentioned, he's like, I fucking hate that guy. He's so annoying. And I think he mentions how they've met briefly, like in passing a few times, but neither of them really seem
I
to
also
like each
say
other.
I also say I hate Jack, and I've never met the man, so
Yeah, but I
I'll
think it's
have to
implied that
imagine.
he's actually met Jack before.
Okay. I just didn't. I wasn't sure. I thought he was just leading her on.
Yeah, because I think the only reason Wax is mentioned in Jack's stories is I think because they've happened to cross each other once or twice out in the refs during the adventures that Jack then like overinflates and like sends into the newspapers.
Yeah.
So he'll be like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
lies.
this random rough slawman,
Well,
I'm so much better than."
First off, apparently Jack doesn't do that. Okay, that's this woman who's embellishing stories. But okay.
No. She likes publishing embellished stories. He's definitely the one
Okay.
doing it because Handerwin during the little thing apparently puts
It's
out
like,
their
what
own
the hell?
version of it that's less inflated. They're like, I've been taking out all of Jack's discrepancies that he keeps putting in.
Yeah.
So it's definitely Jack who does it. She just likes publishing them and similar type stories.
Yeah, she likes publishing fake news. Wonderful.
Yeah, which is basically what Wax called her out, and she's like, "It's not what it is." And he's like, sure, woman. We'll agree to disagree.
Fake news. Like
It's not. She likes
she-
publishing fantasy books, and that's it.
But that's the thing. This is literally portrayed as news. Like,
Yeah,
and
she's like, "Oh, people know that the stuff that we put as embellishments." Like, do
No.
they though?
No.
Like, maybe some people do, but I don't know if your general readership does. Like, that's the whole
Well,
thing
that's
with
on
fake
them, isn't it?
Anyway.
She's the equivalent. She's the equivalent of Fox News.
But anyway, so yeah, Wayne mentions that apparently he reads all of Jack's stories because he's stupid and thus can only read stupid things. It's just part of what he does.
The way she was like, "You read?"
Yeah, Marassi's like, "What do you read?"
Bro, that's the same thing I said. I was like, "Wait, you can read?"
Yeah, he's like, "But only stupid things."
I feel like if I were her, I'd be so pissed off because I know damn well he makes me do all the paperwork.
He definitely does.
Nope. Yeah, that's probably why she thinks he can't read, because he told her that so he could get out of paperwork.
I think he said in previous books as well, I don't read, but then it says, I read this thing, and they're like, and Wax is like, the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I
funny
read this
'cause
somewhere.
She also, like, the lady also goes, "You're one of those." And she's like, "Yeah, we're the ones that shoot people that make us do paperwork."
Yeah. So yeah, then the woman asks if they think that the golden-haired fairy people are related to Tobal's disappearance, but Marassi mentions the people trying to restart the Ash Mounts are it.
Golden hair fairy people.
Yes, which I'm going to get to after this paragraph, which the woman nods at, and Wax realizes she was testing them by like giving a fake like reasoning behind it. The woman then leads them down to a basement where she has giant sheets of metal that she has information written on just in case. So first of all, what did you think about the woman testing them?
I mean, very smart of her to do. Never know when Towson's going to show up and just try to murder her.
Right? What do you think, Darkness, about her little test?
It was smart, but also, why is that the only thing keeping you safe? When you have all this goddamn information.
Yeah. But also, yeah. What do you guys think about the golden-haired fairy people?
What a name for that. What? Huh?
Like
So we have heard of
That's
before
that's
golden-haired
what I was
people.
thinking too.
Sorry, what did Darkness say?
A
Like the
lantern.
Elantrians?
No, they're silvery, not gold.
Yeah, that's silver hair. Yeah.
Which you
I said,
guys,
but light. Yes.
yeah. Last time a long time ago, we've also mentioned golden-haired people, and you guys also made that reference. The golden-haired people are the Iriali on Roshar who follow the One, and who've said that they've come from different lands previously and must continue to, I think it's like 7 different lands before the One is reunited. And so this seems to be that sometime during the end of Stormlight and during the start of Era 2 of Mistborn, the Iriali have moved on from Roshar to very recently, I think they've said it's in the last like year or two, they've come to Scadrial. Which they're probably the ones who brought the Chowta, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, so the Iriali are a world-hopping like race of people who like every like I think few hundred years or few thousand years, I have no idea, world hop. And like their whole civilization moves with them. Like these whole group, like hundreds or thousands of people move planets.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting though, because you say their whole race moves, right? And then they also had later in the chapters talk about how the perpendicularities aren't even good to move
They're not
through.
the best anymore, yeah. They specifically say that
does
Roshar is a
that-
very
doesn't
dangerous
that-
perpendicularity to get through.
Yeah, but doesn't that imply that there's another way to get to World Hop?
So I believe what they're probably referring to later on is I think they're because of where the technology is going. I'm assuming that Codenames is talking about maybe like actual space travel in the physical world, leading towards that. I don't think there's another way in the cognitive realm to like. I don't think they currently have a way to travel outside of the cognitive realm, but I think she's like being like, we need to find a different way because these perpendicularities are so unreliable.
Gotcha.
Like space travel's gonna be any more reliable. Yeah, right.
It's a different set of challenges.
Yeah, but you're familiar with one already. Like,
Right.
I mean, so the other thing that made me think of is, does that imply that maybe people have died coming but trying to World Hop?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I don't think, though, it's necessarily the
And what
perpendicularity itself that causes the damage. I think it's the, like, environment around the perpendicularity, both in the physical and cognitive realm. Like they mentioned, I
But
think, in
What
previous...
happens if a human being dies in the cognitive realm, though? Like somebody who's not a cognitive shadow that dies in the cognitive realm?
I'm assuming their soul still separates, but they're both their soul and their body are in the cognitive realm, and then their soul passes on if they don't become a cognitive shadow. But I'm assuming, considering physical things can move into the cognitive realm, I'm assuming their body would then stay in the cognitive realm.
I was just thinking maybe they would die permanently and never show up again, you know?
No, I think it'd be pretty similar to dying in the physical realm. It's just where your body is located.
would that allow for possession?
Maybe.
I mean,
Because like, what if you like somehow manipulate someone to go into the cognitive realm, right? And then you're one of the
wonder if we
shades
could
or
do that.
whatever, right?
I wonder who we're talking about.
And then you like fucking manage to kill them there or something, right?
And take their
Or-
body.
Yeah, like imagine you just suffocate them, right? So you don't do too much damage to the body, and then
Yeah, or you shove a spike through their eye or something.
well then that's yeah. I mean, I guess technically if it's human relationship, how the fuck are you gonna get? Well, you get me, right? Body. And then what are you just slide in there?
Sorry, would you just what?
Slide in there.
Slide in there.
Slide
Maybe
inside their body, you know?
we don't know much yet about how that might all work. We'll see if maybe
Well, I
Kelsier later
pictured
in
it
the
like
book
a
will tell us a bit
slithery,
more.
like a ghostly snake, But that's why I said slide. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So then we move on to chapter 33, unless you guys have more to say about the Eerie Alley.
Nah, they're very eerie.
I wanted to say that.
You knew I was gonna say it. You knew it.
So yeah, chapter 33, we switch to Marassi's point of view, which honestly, I
Better
feel like
point of view.
this episode, Marassi's chapters are the best chapters.
Yep.
Like Marassi's
just the best. I mean,
she's so good.
like she
They'd
is
be
my
better.
She is my Kelsier for this book.
They'd be better if she wasn't in them.
Wow, that's a fucking false.
Yeah, very false, to be honest.
Yeah, so
That's like saying Indiana Jones wasn't needed in the Lost Ark.
He wasn't. All you need is the fucking boulder.
just the boulder's the main character. Alrighty.
That's all I remember when I think of that. And his stupid fucking hat.
So we switch to Marassi's point of view as she inspects the various metal
She's
sheets
tortured in there.
that the woman has scratched into with a pen. The woman continues
Jesus
on.
home? Is he torturing her?
No, Jesus working. He always works Sundays.
I feel like he's torturing her.
The woman continues on about how she hadn't believed Tobal at first, but he'd kept bringing her more and more evidence. She mentions how he'd come to her 4 years ago, and that he had slowly convinced her as he brought evidence that they went through together. She mentions that he often made leaps in logic that she was able to correct and figure out more of what was actually going on, but the heart of what he was saying was true. Moraga also seems ready for them to shoot her at any minute, although Marassi notes Wax and Wayne both keeping an eye on Moonlight. So yeah, what do you think about Tobal, like, being able to collect, like, all of this information up that they were able to like piece together to figure out what was happening.
Ask that question again.
What do you feel about how like Tobal was able to somehow like get like huge amounts of information out of the set while working for them, and like also after working for them and like bringing it to Moraga for them to like compile together and figure out what was happening?
I mean, the woman just sounds like a spy, making me hate her even more.
I believe. Well, this is what I believe, honestly, at this point, that it's all planned.
What?
That
By
they
the set.
that they got caught.
No, that she was able to take that information. I feel like they wanted her to.
Yeah, no, that's what I kind of meant, but like that they were
Yeah,
able to get that
yeah.
information out.
hmm
I mean, that's not even the greatest thing that she says. So the fact that like nobles are in on this, like people that are high up in
Mhm.
government, made me. And then we get the very last chapter of this book, or not book, sorry, of this
Episode.
episode of with fucking what's her shit being in with a whole bunch of high ranking people, and I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck, how many of these people actually are bad?
Yeah, Stairs points out one right away. She's like, "This person's definitely part of the set," and she can point
Yeah.
out a fucking Condra right away.
Wow,
She's like,
the Condor thing, I didn't that didn't shock me at all. I mean, it shocked me who it was. Didn't shock me that there was a Condor in there.
"Oh
this
yeah, I mean
meeting.
they already knew they had one other Condra." She just was like, "Yeah, there's definitely other ones though too that Milan didn't."
The fact
tell
that
us
she's
about."
just like able to point it out though is pretty cool because like she's supposed to be. I'm not gonna say the normal person, but she's supposed to be like.
Well, I think that's the point, is that she spent so long like studying people's like body language and
Yeah.
habits so that she can fit in better, that she's like really good at just like spotting like oddities, because she's like
Yeah.
been trying to hide her own oddities.
Like you.
Sure.
I don't know. Midnight's not very good at pointing out other people's odysseys. So
Odysseys.
But yeah, so Moonlight is reading some of the large metal sheets, excitedly exclaiming about the trajectories that were mapped out. Moraga mentions how the guns that Belming had been boasting about are much shorter range than they claim. However, they had people in Tobal's old job trying to create self-propelling missiles that could go hundreds of miles. The next sheet has plans for bunkers, which Morassi thinks is why they're getting so many supplies, including canned foods. And then one more sheet over Moraga points out a bunch of Ellendale politicians that are in on the whole thing. Wax looks over the list and thinks some of them seem likely, but others he doesn't think he would be able to keep their mouth shut or wouldn't be in on something like this. So do you agree with Wax that some of the names of the politicians are likely not actually involved, or do you think Wax is being biased because of his views of these people that he's been like dealing with the past 6 years?
yes, I honestly think he's biased.
Mm.
There was something else that I had thought about the fact.
I mean, they could just. I want to say they're just corrupt Conjure at this point.
You just think all of them
No.
are Condra?
No, just the ones that seem unlikely. You know.
Mm.
But it's not like regular Conjure, because what's his name? Charles seems to be able to corrupt like investiture from like that planet or whatever.
Oh, autonomy, yeah.
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 Are they
What's
not
the
the
name they go
same?
by on Scadrial? Yeah, they're the same.
They're the same.
Okay.
I think technically Trell is going to become Talson, and so they're technically going to eventually be separate, but Trell's basically just the name of her autonomy
Yeah.
on Scadrial.
Hopefully they weren't leaving.
Why can't they just like corrupt like well technically that's what they were doing with what's her name?
Talson?
Wax's ex-wife?
Yeah,
Oh,
what's
Lessie.
Yeah.
what's the Condra name though?
Palm. And then she changed her name to Bleeder.
Bleeder.
That's the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah, so technically she was being corrupted. Why can't it be just a bunch of Conjure that were corrupted like that?
They
And then
could with the Trillium spikes.
yeah, and then they just planted them there to like, because like Wax said, they couldn't like keep it to themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
if
they
they
murdered
replaced
Evan
them
and-
before those letters happened, like if they replaced them sometime in the last like 4 or 5 years, they could be like still playing the role, so they still seem like they would just spill everything, but like their actual selves are also then like hiding stuff that
Keeping
the
the
normal
actual
person
stuff
wouldn't.
that needs to be kept hidden. Yeah.
Yeah, because the original person may not have been able to.
That's what I want to believe is happening. I'm not gonna say, oh, that's literally what like what is happening, but that's what I want. That'd be cool.
That'd be really smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. But you see,
Uh,
I'm telling you, fucking autonomy needs me on her team.
Agree.
I'm not saying I'm gonna worship her. I'm just saying she needs me.
Well,
See,
apparently neither does what's her nuts. She doesn't really worship her. She's just like, we're trying to
Talson?
protect you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're trying to protect the world. I swear.
She's
Exactly.
also
I would have to
definitely
keep.
super power hungry.
I
Yeah,
would have to keep the Lord Ruler's planet safe.
I
yeah,
see.
exactly.
For when he eventually
Yeah,
returns.
by
Yes.
doing the exact same thing that the Lord Ruler did.
Exactly. Wait, does that
Learning,
make me
not
the
learning.
Lord Ruler?
Yes, not learning from the Lord Ruler's mistakes. Yep.
Learn from history.
Yeah, history's
Or
stupid and outdated.
would you rather learn from history or make history?
Both.
Both.
Ugh, you guys are so greedy.
I mean, you would make history by learning about it so you don't make the same mistakes.
Nuh-uh.
Alright. So Moraga then reveals that the plan had been to detonate the bomb in Elendel 2 weeks ago. Marassi realizes the only
Yeah,
thing
I don't believe that.
Marassi realizes the only thing holding them up is that they've been trying to figure out how to get the bomb into the city. Moraga thinks the main issue with sending it from Belming is something to do with the fuel. Moraga then shows them a picture of Elendel covered in ash with an orange sky. Marassi is disturbed, and Wax mentions they didn't have color photos back then, so it might just be an old photo of Luthadel that's been colored in by someone. So yeah,
I
what
don't
do you think about
understand.
this photo?
No,
Uh,
low key. Why couldn't they just like have someone?
Suicide bomb themselves?
Well, it's supposed to be huge, right?
yeah, I think the fact is that it's like way too big. I think it's like I don't know, the size of like a fucking car or something, maybe bigger.
Why does it have to be big if they realize how like the separation of or what was it? Was it the separation or is it the interaction
Separation
between
was
I think
Trillium
it's
and
the interaction of like Trillium trying to split Harmonium was what happened.
Okay, but you don't even need that like big of a fucking device if you could do that.
I think it might be like the mechanics involved because they don't have as advanced like mechanics as we do, so like they might have to have more of like an actual system to like force the two metals together because they're magnetically repelled. Remember?
You can't push on them, right?
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can push on any god metal.
Yeah, I think that was something Wax tried earlier in the book.
So what if you grab a bunch of tape? Right.
I don't think tape's gonna hold. So suddenly here.
No. Instead, we could just pack it into a missile and fire it off. There you go.
So are so if you like, I don't even remember how it happened anymore. If you put Trillium and Harmonium next to each other, they'll just repel, right?
Yeah, they'll like push away from each other.
That would be awesome magnetism stuff you could do with that.
So suddenly they hear a door open upstairs, despite the amount of locks Moraga
Oh,
had
I
on the
wonder
doors.
who that is.
Wax and Wayne both get out their weapons, but a seemingly unarmed Talson walks down the stairs to them, holding an envelope from Tobal's place. She doesn't seem to mind the gun pointed at her head as she complains about the numbers that had been an address and not a train station lock number. So yeah, were you surprised that Talson just like suddenly shows up
I
here?
was not surprised she showed up. I had like this itching feeling, like if they could find him, that his sister was showing up. I was like, this is gonna happen. But did I know it was gonna happen then? No, not really. I just assumed it would happen. I thought they were gonna leave her,
And she
be
would be
like,
killed.
have their and then she would have been dead by the time they came back. But I was like, bro, if it was as easy as that to find for you to find them, come on.
Yeah. What did you think, Darkness? Were you surprised Talson showed up?
I thought they would be waiting for them outside. Not gonna lie.
Hmm.
But I'm low-key still stuck on the fact that they're both repelling like against each other, right? Sorry, I know it's old news,
Yeah, that's
right? But I
Not
just
really.
didn't think of the possibilities of what you can do with that and why they're not doing that.
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess they don't have like a steady source of Charlie. What's it called?
Trillium. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much they have of it available.
No, but it's crazy though, because like if you think about it, well, magnetism, the way it works is that the pushing forces are not equal.
Hmm. I wonder if Harmonium would be stronger since it's technically two shards, so it would push more.
That's what
than
I'm
the
trying to see.
Trillium.
That's what I'm trying to think about. Because like, if it is stronger,
Mhm.
Why can't Harmony just push Trell out of the entire planet?
no, it's not what I was thinking, but that is funny to think about. Um, would that work against? Would plain magnetism work against spikes, Trillium spikes?
Yeah, probably.
I
mean, if it's like that, if you're
don't
using a harmony spike, I feel like it would.
know. Because I think the thing is, I feel like the normal pushing and pulling of Allomancers is a magnetic type thing, and I think the fact that like chemalurgic and ferrochemical stuff being harder to push on because of them being invested pieces of metal, I think means that also
But it's a
normal
god metal.
magnetism. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's why I think also normal magnetism also wouldn't work normally on it because I think that's basically what the Allomancers are using is
Yeah, but the thing is,
magnetism.
at that point, it's another god metal pushing on another god metal.
Oh, I thought you said normal if
No,
normal magnetism
No,
was.
I'm asking, can you? Okay, so let's say you make a really big like harmonium or like chunk, right?
Yeah.
Like or like a shield or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just like run at someone that has a trillium spike in them. Is it gonna just
Mm,
like push it the fuck out?
like out of them.
maybe it might.
Because if that's how it works, you'd see me in a full suit of armor if I could get my hands on it.
The problem was though that a harmonium member is reactive with the air and with water. They have to
It's
hold
okay, I'll wrap it in bubble wrap.
they have to keep it in like a special oil solution in order for it not to like explode on its own. It's just that the trillium harmonium explosion is even like way 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 larger, like exponentially larger.
Wait, so just by itself it explodes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Bruh.
I mean, it's two opposing forces combined together.
And then you got a third and then
I-
kaboom.
I think that's why no one's tried like swallowing any
Ingesting
harmonium yet because like it would kill you.
You just gotta swallow a lot of oil too.
But here's the thing: if it would kill you, would it remake you?
We don't know. I'm
I
assuming
feel like somebody had
someone's
to have tried.
experimented with it. I feel like
somebody
someone's
had
got
to have
to
tried.
have.
But
But
they
What if you just
weren't.
start licking it?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. But then you'd have to find the perfect person because they would have to have like a affinity for both atium and whatever
no, because
lerasium,
god
right?
metals are specifically that you're supposed to be able to just use them. Anyone.
What? No, because we had atium
So,
missings.
I think I told you this at the end of Era 1, you might have forgotten. Brandon did a little bit of a retcon on atium,
Oh,
where the atium that forms in the pits of Hathsin is technically an alloy of atium and electrum. It's not pure
oh yeah,
atium.
because you called it electrum originally. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not pure atium because he realized, because Mistborn was written quite early on in his career, and he's realized later on that he's like, no, all god metals should be, as people of Adonasium, all god metals should be usable by anyone.
Hmm.
So, yes. So anyone, Allomancer or not, should be able to use Harmonium if you can survive swallowing it.
Would that mean that technically that one dude is not an ATM misting but an electrum misting?
Yeah, pretty much.
I believe so, yes.
Oh.
It also implies that atium could be alloyed with every other metal to give it a slightly different effect.
Yeah, this just sounds like a bunch of different drugs.
Okay, so it can't be exposed to air or liquid, right?
Or water. It can be exposed to other liquids,
Water.
like oil, because that's what they
Liquid.
hold it in.
So could you then does that mean that they could then melt it down, right, and then combine it with another one with harmonium? Like harmonium could be melted down and
So I
made
think remember
into an alloy?
they proved that god metals don't melt and solidify like normal metals. That's how the mist, the perpendicularity, and the metal can all exist at the same temperature.
Because they are different like forms that stay the same, right?
Yeah. So maybe if you got like liquid from the
liquid,
perpendicularity,
yeah.
which would be liquid harmonium, you could maybe mix it with something, but like you couldn't just take the metal version of it. But the liquid version, potentially. But the problem is the Malwish are like guarding the pool.
Wait. So how does that work? So
That's what I'm also super confused right now. But
the water from the perpendicularity isn't.
There's no water in the
metal,
perpendicularity. It's just
metal.
It's just liquid metal, basically.
Yeah.
It's the metal, right?
Liquid version of the metal, yes.
And so that's technically still god metal then.
Yes.
Yes.
Same with the mist.
So
That's
why
how
don't they just
Vin could burn the mist
drink
in
it?
Era 1.
Why don't they
Why
just
don't we
drink it?
just swim in there and just start fucking chugging it? Yeah.
Well, that's what I was
Drink
saying. I think the Malwish are like guarding it. They don't
Guarding
let anyone
it.
near it.
But they're guarding
Why
it
don't
at
they do it though?
I don't know.
Kaladin's, or not Kaladin's, Kelsier's request.
Kelsier's got something going on with it, but we don't
Fuck
know anything with it
Kelsier.
yet.
There was a whole group that wanted the fucking bans. You think there's not people in there that want to fucking swim and drink that shit?
I'm sure there are.
I don't see why they wouldn't and have powers already. Like, that's stupid.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they're making the medallions.
I would not be a good person in this world.
No,
Because remember,
I wouldn't
they
either.
refuse to talk
I'd be a
about how
very
they
evil person.
they refuse to talk about how they're able to make the medallions because technically they shouldn't have any ferochemy or allomancy. The Malwish.
Oh my god, they used the bathwater to fucking like solidify it and then just turn it into medallions.
I don't
There's,
think they
like,
turn it into. I think it probably gives them powers.
They inject their little medallion cookies with like bathwater, like
Medallion
liquid.
cookies. Okay then.
Oh my god.
That's something.
Alright.
I'm not going insane. Sorry.
I mean, yeah.
So we go to chapter 34.
But
we-
wait, so I'm still confused. So if it's not, all right. So is harmonium the only thing that can't be? No, because you said all god metals are like that. That
Yes.
can't be melted down. So how do you make an alloy of
Because it formed that way, I think is
what?
it like naturally was forming as an alloy somehow.
That doesn't make sense.
Look, I don't pretend to understand that, okay?
Oh my god, I need to talk to Brandon. This doesn't make sense. How? How does a natural occurrence of an alloy happen?
Well-
Now I gotta look it up. I gotta look up not that, but
I mean,
look up
it is metal
and
growing though.
if metal, yeah, right. But if metal can be alloyed in the wild, I'm pretty sure alloy was a thing that was man-made.
Oh fuck, sorry, it's an ATM gold. Wait, it's an ATM gold alloy? I thought it was an ATM electrum alloy. What the fuck do you mean it's an ATM gold alloy?
Still an alloy.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
I don't understand.
Neither do I. Brandon needs to come into this and talk to us about this. This
Wait,
is
no.
crazy.
Oh, sorry. There's another alloy of ATM gold which is mal ATM. It is sorry, electrum ATM. I'm trying to read the copper mind, and I'm just like I'm not understanding what the way
Okay,
they've
I'm
Wait,
laid
not
what's
out.
Mel ATM?
Mal ATM was
Mel ATM's gold and ATM.
yes, ATM gold alloy.
So there's two alloys that they can do.
Yeah, they know of two. There's two known alloys that we know what they do.
So how did the gold one form?
Right? Thank you.
I don't know. Okay.
Can metal in nature be combined without man-made assistance?
Oh yeah, alloys. Oh look, it says some alloys can occur naturally. Electrum is the natural alloy of gold and stuff like that. So
Ah, okay.
Okay, so alloys can naturally occur in nature. Explained away. We're good.
I knew they could, but I just didn't know what specific ones.
Okay.
Cause the way that it's funny, cause the way that ATM is supposed to grow there, some metals grow like that in like real life.
Anyways, let's move on to chapter 34.
No, we're being scientists right now.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to. I want to know how that happens in nature because from what I'm looking at, it's still a heated thing.
German silver.
It's
What?
still it's a hydrothermal system. It needs to still heat up and then mix together. So,
Well, we don't know how the god metals form. Because remember, when you consume them, they reform. So maybe it's if it mixes while forming, it can do that.
right, that's confusing.
Oh my god. What?
I do know that Brandon does consult with like scientists and chemists and stuff on things. I think it's just beyond me.
Yeah, very much beyond. I still would love an answer.
I'm sure he would give you one if you were able to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
'Cause as
Oh
I
my
said,
god,
he
if I was
does
in this
generally go to
world,
specialists.
All I gotta do is, become a famous author and then meet him somewhere and
Or
have
you
a
should go to a
conversation.
convention or like a book signing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let me just figure out how to do that. Go to a fucking go
You
to
just gotta
Dragon
go to
Con
Utah
somehow.
and stalk him.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. All right, we can move on, but I'm still looking this up. So
We continue with Marassi's point of view. She begins charging an allomantic grenade in her pocket. Telsin glances around the room, noting how much information Tobal had been able to get about their plans. Telsin then tells Wax to put his gun down as she can just heal from any wounds, and she also tells Wayne it's worthless to try and torture her, since she can store pain and thus would feel nothing from any torture. Wax then asks why Telsin is here, and she replies that he has 2 days to stop her before it'll be too late. Wax then has Wayne put up a speed bubble so the three of them can talk without Telsin hearing. They agree that she is likely lying about the timeline to make them think that they have more time than they actually do. They also think she's desperate, and Wax explains about how Harmony says she has the power of autonomy until she fails, which she is likely scared of. Marassi glances briefly at Telsin and thinks for a moment it seems like her eyes are glowing faintly red before it fades. Wax needs time to think, but is worried about Wayne's Bendalloy, but he replies he has a lot of it because he took money from someone worthless. So what do you think Wayne means by he took money from someone worthless?
did he take his own money?
Yeah, he's definitely self-deprecating here, and Wax just doesn't get it because they don't know he's rich.
Yeah, I took money from somebody who's worthless. Gotcha.
Guys, I want you to know you guys have dug me in a deep rabbit hole right now because I am looking at certain stuff.
You're looking at alloys?
No, I ended up on meteorite metals.
Okay.
And I found iridium now, and I'm just so interested in this because apparently there are like specific alloys and stuff that occur naturally through like meteorites and are not found in like
space compacting it together kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's not found like on Earth's crust and stuff naturally. So if I lived in that world, I'd go around searching for meteorites and just start biting them, But
fair.
Crazy the amount of things you could do in this world.
Marassi then suggests looking through the underground tunnels and bunkers that the set were using to test her device. Wax also mentions wanting to confront Telsin and see if he can get information from her by figuring out what she is lying about. Marassi then suggests splitting up, and Wax agrees, with him and Wayne focusing on Telsin, and Marassi taking Moonlight to find the bunkers, since Moonlight knows the city well. Marassi then suggests they both communicate with Steris and can leave notes for each other through her. Wax is concerned that the radio operators may be compromised, but he can't think of anything better as he doesn't think they may meet up again before the day is over. They both agree that if one of them finds the bomb, they'll do whatever necessary to get rid of it. So what do you think about the group splitting up?
Great idea.
We're not split up at this point. Oh wait, that's our D&D campaign, my bad.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. Also, do you think communicating through Steris is going to work out for them, or do you think something's going to happen and they're not going to be able to communicate at all?
I feel like they're just going to ignore her at some point.
Damn.
Because they've been trying, and yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if they fucking just... Oh, she's spoken enough. Like, she's crazy. Okay. Next.
I have an idea. I have a super idea. Because now you made me even think even more about when you said ATM has fucking alloyed with gold at some point, and I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck do you do that? So what if, I'm trying to think of how to explain that they literally take the essence or the fucking spirit of fucking both metals and just put them together and then bring it out of the spirit world or some shit.
Well, that's what... Well, I'm pretty sure you could do that with, like, what's her name's powers, right?
Who?
Oh, technically, you could do that with the stamps as well.
Wait.
Oh, with Moonlight's
powers?
My
god, you just made me think of, oh my god.
Because you could do it with...
just rewrites fucking history to say, oh yeah, this was always combined. Oh my god.
Can you stamp history? Can you stamp time?
No, but you could stamp ATM that says it's always been alloyed with whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, the stamps are able to change stuff through...
ATM into Lerasium.
Oh my
and then
god.
become a Mistborn.
That would be disgusting.
What if ATM
wait. What if you just stamp Trillium and be like, you can work with the others?
Wait, no, you know what would actually probably work really well is if you could somehow stamp Harmonium. Because you could stamp it so that so it thinks that in the past the two shards never combined, and then you could make ATM or Lerasium out of it.
So what if you just stamp it to not fight?
Midnight. Let us make the assumptions, because all it sounds like you're doing is telling us things that will happen later.
No, it's not saying that'll happen. I was wondering. Because
I'm just saying.
So, like, wouldn't you also be able to
have more information than us? So, like, it sounds it's not you. It just sounds like, something you could be telling us that happens later, and
But
it's
Minute,
unfortunate.
wouldn't you also be able to just be like damp it and then like make it so that they're less aggressive towards each other,
Could do that
so that
too,
they
right?
don't explode?
I don't know if
This
you
will
could
not
change its
explode.
basic properties, but because the whole point is that you're changing a piece of its past. So
Right, but the past is the way the gods fight, right? Because they're opposing forces.
Mm,
What if it's less them fighting and them disagreeing but not harming each other?
maybe.
Because then at that point, it would explode. You'd be able to swallow that shit,
Yeah,
and
and then
like
we'll figure out what power it does.
you wouldn't have to separate it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to experiment with soul stamps and harmonium, and I wonder if Moonlight's even considered it or not.
Because that's just one way. Because we also have well, I forgot her name. That one that also got invited to the Ghost Bloods in Stormlight.
Oh, Shalon?
Jasmine's girlfriend. Yeah, Shalon.
Shalon.
There you go. Um,
This is my girlfriend Shalon. Like Aeon's like, this is my girlfriend Shalon. This is her girlfriend Yasna, my cousin.
so it could it could. Wait, that's funny as fuck. Actually,
Wow.
it could be like that situation where I am Stick. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
I've always been sick.
I'm
I
pretty
will
sure
always
the
be
soul
sick.
casting in Stormlight is very similar to soul stamps.
Yeah. So like, there's definitely multiple powers that can do that. It's just
Like I think it's probably like an aspect of probably Adolnasium's investiture that like could do that, and it's been like separate into like kind
Hey,
of different types of it.
so if technically soul stamps and
Soul casting.
soul casting also give us like a, I wouldn't say, is it personification of an item?
I think it's more so the fact that they're not personifying it is that items already are considered personified, and that
If
they
that's
work on the souls of objects. They can manipulate
if
the souls
that's
of
how,
objects.
okay, but if that's how that works, would like, I wouldn't say, is it the band like whatever fairy kami connection, you know, would that work on the items as well?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Because if that's how that works, then it should work on the items.
It'd be interesting to see a full feruchemist go into the spiritual realm to try like connecting with objects and stuff.
Because what I'm assuming is that the connection part is the same thing that they're using for soul casting and stamping. It's like the equivalent of those powers.
No, I don't think so. Connection. There's another. There's a power that a different Radiant Order has that is based on connection that we haven't seen yet. You guys haven't seen yet. So that would be what I believe is the similar to connection.
Okay, then I wonder what the equivalent for Allomancy or Ferrocami or Hemalurgy or whatever is for soul casting.
I'm not sure if they have. I don't think every world has an equivalency of each power. Because remember, I think I talked to you guys briefly about how the Fabrials that Navani works on, the Fabrials are influenced by the type of metal used. So like metals, even off Scadrial, have inherent powers that affect investiture in different ways. I don't think that it always means that they're going to have like a soul casting equivalent and stuff as well. I think it's more that they can basically manipulate the spren and the gemstones that the spren are trapped in the Fabrials using different metals. Like, I think
don't know if I low-key agree with that. Only because I feel it's not necessarily like, oh, they all work in the exact same way, but I feel like it derives from the same sort of like meaning.
Yeah, well, as I said, like I think it's more of like Adolnasium obviously probably had his own set of powers that had like similar to the Radiance, how there's like 10 surges. Like Adolnasium had like an X amount, maybe 16, like an X amount of powers, and those powers, when Adolnasium was splintered, changed depending on the shard with them.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking maybe some shards got some of the powers, but not all of them. And
okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Kind of like how the Radiant Orders, like they share surges with the adjoining, with like
but they have their own little special thing.
Yeah, but like combined, they do something differently. but they still have like share base powers. I think it might be similar with the shards, how certain shards have a certain fraction of those powers that Adonaisim originally had, and some shards share some powers, but because of the way that they're influenced by the intent of the shard, they come across slightly differently.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense than
Mm-hmm.
the way I had taken it.
Yeah. That's my theory. I don't have it fully confirmed, but that's my theory behind it. Based on all the knowledge I have.
Well, we're never gonna really have it fully confirmed until we interrogate the authors, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and just think about this. We're gonna have a list of things to talk.
Alright, let's
We gotta
finish
wait
up
Better be
the
ready
shit.
to sit through like
yeah,
a whole podcast.
I want yeah, right. I want to wait until we've pretty much done, like, finished all of the books for him, which will be years. But before saying anything or asking any of these questions, because what if he answers them? But
How
I
many
think
more
some
books do
people
we?
also do.
a
They still
lot.
ask him questions outside of certain books, but they're say because I think sometimes he'll ask what books they've read if the answer is obvious from one of the other books, or sometimes they'll say, "I've read all but X book. Can you answer this question? Has it been answered yet?" And then he'll answer depending based on the books that they've read.
Do we need? It doesn't seem like we're literally over halfway.
Are we?
Yeah,
Might be. How
you
many
can check the
need?
pin.
Yeah, I was gonna look at my pin thing.
Well, I mean,
1,
are
2,
you
3,
adding the new book into that pin as well, or?
We're on
Was
12 out of 13, 14.
you haven't updated it?
Oh fuck, I haven't updated it.
We're well over halfway.
5, 6, 7, 8. I have all but the most recent Stormlight on that list, but yeah, I do need to edit that actually. Right.
But that does mean we're over halfway, right?
I think so, yeah.
I've been occasionally looking at it because that's where like you guys are like we're moving on to the next book, so I'm like this is the one we're on, but you know.
Oh yeah. I'm luckily all mine my Audible shows me like what's the last thing you've read, so as long as I don't read another book in between.
No, mine does too. But then whenever we end off podcasts and we finish a book, you guys are like, okay, we're reading this next. I completely forget.
Oh, that part you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go on my Kindle or whatever, and I'll check the next like whatever recommended, and I'm like I don't know which one's next. So I just go back to the Discord thing and
I gotcha.
look at that.
Alright, there we go. I've updated it. Anyways, let's get back. We keep going on
I
tangents.
love procrastinating, so.
Alright. So the speedball
It's
drops.
okay. It's okay. I already wrote my theory down for the part that I'm talking about.
That's good.
So, all good.
So yeah, the speedball drops, and Wax tells Telson they need to talk, and she agrees. Marassi sees Wax briefly speak to Moraga on his way up the stairs. Before they fully split, Wayne stops Marassi and tells her to be careful with Moonlight. Marassi says she knows Moonlight isn't telling the full truth, but she's confident she doesn't work for the enemy. Wayne trusts her judgment, although he's a bit sentimental about splitting up after working together for 6 years. So what did you think about Wax or Wayne and Marassi not being able to work together, even though they've been like partners for the last 6 years?
Nah, see, I found it more shocking that he has a heart.
Wow.
Like, holy shit, man! You actually are worried. You know, like, oh, we're gonna be gone from each other for however long.
He's like, we always work together, like, because Wax has basically not been doing that sort of stuff anymore. So like, Marassi's been like his main partner in crime for the last 6 years, working together as constables and everything. They're best friends.
That's
His
crazy.
best friend.
He's no longer hitting on her, so they became best friends.
I mean, once Meilon came around, I don't think he was interested in her. And he was more interested in Marassi and Wax getting together than him and Marassi.
I meant Wax not flirt. I meant Wax not flirting with her, by the way.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood that.
Not Wayne. Yeah, not Wayne.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I was kind of just went with it. I'm like, if you thought they were flirting, sure. Yeah, so then we get chapter 35, which is part 3. We switch back to Wax's point of view as he and Wayne dash out of the newspaper office, dragging Telson behind them. They scout for snipers, but Telson insists she came alone to try to convince Wax to run away from Elendel with his family. Wax asks why she's acting like this now when she tried to kill him 6 years ago, which just causes her to sigh and say she needed to do what had to be done, and that she doesn't want him dead. She also insists that she wants to save the basin and their planet, but Elendel needs to be destroyed or Autonomy will send in her army. Wax, however, argues that destroying Elendel kills half of their population and also will leave them vulnerable to the southern peoples to invade. He also argues that Autonomy might just be using Telson to weaken them so she can still invade with her army. Taliesin doesn't look at Wax, though, as he speaks, instead just looking up at the sky. She then does look at him as she tells him that Harmony's agents killed their parents trying to get at her. So what do you think about Taliesin and Wax's conflicting views about how to deal with autonomy?
I mean, I kind of agree with Wax about the fact that what if they're just softening
Weakening them.
basically. Yeah, they just want to soften them up so that they can send the army in.
Yeah, so they can still take over.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's like you might just be like helping them destroy the planet, not like saving the planet.
What if you send a nuke through a perpendicularity, by the way?
You sent a what through a perpendicularity?
God, a nuke. A nuke.
Oh,
yeah, through a perpendicularity.
That does not sound like a good idea.
Okay, but we gotta experiment, right?
This is why Darkness would be the evil villain of the book.
I'm just saying, like, they're having troubles tested on a different land.
Is this why you send it through to First of the Sun, where all the evil creatures that are going to kill you are? And there's no actual people? At least not on that island.
Weapons of mass destruction. Lovely. I don't even know where that thought came from. I'm sorry.
It came from your head. That's where it came from.
That is true.
Where all good thoughts come from.
Good thoughts.
So Taliesin then goes on about how beautiful Bilming is now that she's in charge, and that they are so far behind the Malwish and the rest of the Cosmere, but that she can fix that. Wax asks her again why she is here, and she replies she wants him safe and out of the way. Wax thinks it's a bad look for her that her brother keeps interfering. Wax then retells a story of Taliesin making it seem like their cousin was stealing money so that she could get her own room to be able to sneak out easier while in the village. He uses that story to mention how self-serving she is. Taliesin replies that Wax always runs away from the big problems and that she has to be in charge. So do you think Taliesin actually wants to keep Wax safe, or do you think it's just a ploy to get him out of her way?
I mean, can't it be both?
It could definitely be both. I was just saying, like, what do you think is, like, her main reason between the two?
And I don't think she really cares for him like a brother. Like, you know, I don't think they really have that kind of a bond.
I mean, yeah, they haven't really, like, spent any time together since they were basically, like, teenagers, I think. And they're both in, like, their, like, 40s or 50s now.
I want to believe that she does care.
In her own fucked up way.
Yeah.
She definitely cares about her plan.
So Taliesin then again tries to convince Wax to go back to the Roughs, as he could help them once Elendel gets destroyed. Wax is about to argue that he isn't that person anymore, but stops himself as he realizes that Taliesin doesn't know him as well as she used to, and that gives him an advantage over her. Wax begins to answer her in the way she expects, getting information out of her about how Entrone is involved, and he may be easier to interrogate than her. Taliesin continues on about how she wants more power and wants to see the things the Cosmere has to offer, and she won't let Wax take that from her. Wax then realizes she is stalling, slipping away from her as she goes on about how autonomy is rugged individualism filtered through the lens of a god who thinks they know best, a god who wants you to have individuality, but only on the path that she chooses for you. She also briefly mentions that another shard is named Whimsy. Wax doesn't hear any more, though, as he slips off the roof quietly and hopes she'll keep talking. So first of all, what do you think about Wax having changed over the decades, where Taliesin kind of has stayed kind of the same type of person, so he's able to predict her easier than she can predict him?
I mean, I feel like that might be just a red herring for him, that it's not actually true. But I feel like he can't really predict her as well as he thinks he can. But
what do you think, Darkness?
Wait, who can predict who?
Wax is saying that he thinks he can predict Taliesin's moves and like thoughts better than she can predict his, because he's actually changed over the decades, and she seems to have just like become more of the same that she was when she was younger.
No, what? No, that's such an ignorant viewpoint. Because like, my bad, I didn't know she tried fucking being an avatar of a fucking evil god since he was little, but.
I think it's more not that, but more like the essence of like he's always been a very selfish, power-hungry person.
Personality, but the things that you go through alter that no matter what.
Yeah, but I think he says he explains it a little more in the actual book, but I think he kind of says like she's kind of stayed in like this little bubble of hers, pushing for this power-hungry stuff. While I've been like gaining. It definitely is a bit like. Stupid, because obviously like she's still going to be affected, like she's been dealing with like a god from another world.
Right. I feel like he's trying to hold on to that belief that he's I don't know.
Or superiority. Yeah.
I was gonna say that, but it's like sometimes you're just like that with siblings, you know.
I think to be fair though, at least the whole thought of if I play up the type of person she thinks I am, it'll give her wrong impressions about my motives and what I'm going to do, which definitely is an advantage. He might
What
also
if
not.
she's doing the same thing?
Yeah, she might also be doing the same thing, but it would potentially give them both an advantage then. But I guess cancels out.
Right.
But
Yeah,
either
exactly. Two
Either
advantages
way.
cancel out.
way. However, what do you think about Telson's description of autonomy being where was it? Rugged individualism filtered through the lens of a god who thinks they know best.
I mean, yeah, he does know best. He's a god. Wait, couldn't that also be like Trell?
Trell and autonomy are the same.
Yeah, no. Oh, okay, wait. So I thought we were talking about harmony.
No. She's describing autonomy, not harmony.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought they were.
I mean, it could
harmony.
be harmony too, though.
Yeah, right.
That's
literally why I didn't question it.
I think harmony is more of like a. He's like, do your own thing. I'll be hands off, except for when I feel like I need
But
to.
he's not hands off.
Really I think autonomy though is much more hands on than harmony. She's like, I have this very specific thing for every single person. You can be.
But that's due to their like godly nature though.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just gods in general that see it that way, though.
Yeah, I was just kind of like saying, like, what do you think about like
I'm better than you.
Like this description of how like autonomy as a shard's intent works more so?
Yeah,
because they kind of finally describe it.
I definitely see it empowering that sort of like viewpoint as they are the shard autonomy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just everyone. That's everyone, and like the gods from the shards from the other planets, they also act the same way.
I mean, they all definitely get a bit of power hungry, but I feel like some of them are more.
No, but it's not that just they're power hungry. It's that they go beyond what they need to do in order to like implement their viewpoints. Because that's just what autonomy is doing, but in a much larger scale because of the influence of the shard. If they were just the hosts themselves, right? Mm-hmm. I severely doubt like they would be the exact same power hungry like same steps type situation. So what I'm saying is like every god themselves, they have the power to do stuff beyond what they usually do, so they do.
Yeah.
Like they do it, you know. And the only reason Seize, what I assume is the only reason Seize is not doing it is one, he's clashing with himself. Mm-hmm. And two, that sense of balance that he's supposed to have is keeping him from doing that, but he still does it. Like even if it's like mildly, it's still in his nature. So
yeah. Also, what do you think
at that point?
Oh, sorry, go.
At that point, it'd be interesting though to see like any small differences between what the hosts would do if they had their like opposite powers. Because imagine if the hosts for autonomy took harmony instead.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Also, what do you think about this shard Whimsy? So we've got another shard named that.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, Taliesin calls out the name of a shard Whimsy.
I find it weird that Taliesin just knows this shit.
I mean, it's fed information through autonomy, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming she's been dealing with either autonomy directly, maybe also world hoppers that autonomy's like connected with over the last like 2 or 3 decades potentially. Because remember, she's been part of the set for like her whole adult life basically.
I also I wouldn't be surprised if autonomy just straight up speaks to her the way they speaks to.
Yeah, she very well might.
Possible.
And autonomy also probably knows a lot more than Seize, because Seize is a much newer vessel than autonomy.
Right, but autonomy is also willing to talk.
Yeah.
Unlike Seize.
Yeah, well, I think, I mean, in Autonomy's mind, it's for the best to talk to Talson, because either Talson's going to
Yeah.
get killed when she invades, or Talson's going to become one of her avatars. So either way, giving her information doesn't matter, because she'll either be dead if she's not on Autonomy's side, or she'll be on Autonomy's side.
I want to see your guys' viewpoint, Loki, because is it more irresponsible to let people do their own stuff when you have the power to actually help them? Or is it more irresponsible for you to, like, step up and, like, actually help them?
I think it depends on the situation. I think in general, it's better to let people make their own mistakes. Like,
Yes,
that's
I
kind
agree
of
with you on
like
that.
a that's kind of like what you're supposed to do as like a parent. Like, you
Free
have to
will.
like guide a
Hmm.
child, but also let them learn, because if you shelter them too much, they just are useless once they eventually become adults and have to leave, or they just never leave, they just live
Oh,
with you.
And then at that point, it's just like the perspective of when it's too much to do something.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was basically Harmony's case to Wax as well. Was like, he's like, I interfere for the worst stuff, but like, people need to like grow and evolve on their own, and I've done too much early on that I made life too easy for you guys. So like, I need to
stunted
let you
their
guys
growth.
fail.
Mhm.
But that's also like based on his view of what the worst is,
It is, yeah.
which is
But I mean,
objective.
everyone's gonna have their own perspective on it, obviously,
Yeah.
like where the line is. But I think most people agree that like sheltering others too much is just to their detriment,
Hmm.
because that's how
I'm an
people
anarchist. I
change.
think everybody should just figure it out unless they ask. If somebody asks me if they want for help, if I can help them, I'm going to help them. But if they don't ask, I just let them do whatever they want, and they'll figure it out.
Mm, that's fair too.
I don't really. Yeah, I'm not that person that's like, well, yeah, this.
Hmm.
But I should just not tell you this, or I should tell you this. You know,
You want help? Pray to me.
yeah, exactly. No, that's the thing. So if I was a god, I feel like that would be different because then people would just pray to me for literally everything. But
Yeah.
like as a person, like an actual person, like that has limitations myself. Like I
You're
feel like
so great.
I enjoyed more about with me personally. I enjoyed more learning and figuring things out
Hmm.
without actually being told how to do or what to do it, when to do it,
Hmm.
because everybody is going to have a different way of doing certain things.
Yeah.
But if everybody just does the same thing based on one person's perspective, it's nothing changes, and
Yeah.
change is kind of
Exactly.
needed in life.
You just gave me a whole different perspective of how I would run my religion as a god.
Oh yeah.
Because personally, you said everybody, would like pray for every small thing, right?
Yeah,
I would demand sacrifices.
for every small thing. Yeah, I mean,
No.
that's,
So I would demand sacrifices of equal or greater value to what you're asking of me.
okay. So yeah, I see that's kind of what I was thinking when you said that. But like, and that sets a thing though, right? Of the more wealthy somebody is in whatever
It's not
you're
going to be a
protecting.
wealth based, it's going to be emotional based. So the more you feel towards something, like the more like
it
you're attached to something,
the
the more value it's going to
the
have to
strength
me.
of the cost is uh contingent
Based
on the
on
type of
you.
person. Yeah, it's not like a set strict
Yeah.
guideline. You mean basically?
Yeah, so like let's say you really love your sibling, kill them for me.
Wow.
And then you'll have whatever you want.
So
Whereas if you don't
basically,
care
what
about
you're
your
saying
sibling,
is,
don't do it.
yeah. So basically, what you're saying though is like $10 to a poor person and 10,000 to a rich person, right? Like that's the limitations would be the same, right? Like they would be the same exact
Cost,
sacrifice.
yeah. All right, so chapter 36. Back
All
to
right,
Marassi.
darkness, darkness.
Oh,
I pray for world peace. What is my cost?
Destroy a world for me and I'll give it to you.
Nice. All right.
destroy a different world and you can have peace on yours.
Exactly. Does that sound fantastic? Oh,
What if I
this
just
makes me
wait?
so
What if I
happy.
just destroy my own world?
Well
Then it'll be
then,
peaceful because no
I'll
one will be
give
there
you a
to
different
fight.
world.
I like my solution
At,
better. It's peaceful
technically,
because
at
no
that
one's left
point, it's your
alive.
world.
Honestly, darkness is God just sounds like a genie.
It's true! You're literally just a genie.
Yeah, like I mean, a cost a genie that has cost, but just
Yeah,
a
but
genie.
there's no trickery. There's just plain out like
It's the cost
not.
instead of the trickery.
It's a transaction.
All right.
I'm a cashier.
You're actually the devil. Isn't that the whole thing? Like they sell your
Yeah,
soul and we'll give you
exactly.
X.
Sell your soul or sell, whatever.
The
All
thing
right.
is, the sacrifice doesn't even have to be evil though.
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, destroy a whole world is pretty evil.
It could be one of the cause. We said PayPal too.
All right. Let's move on to chapter
Oh,
36.
oh, it is about being rich. What the hell?
Chapter 36, we switch back to Murassi's point of view as she and Moonlight hurry upstairs. Moraga is packing a bag but mentions that she isn't sure where to go. Murasi asks Moonlight if she is anywhere safe for Moraga since she helped them, and after a moment of
Oh my
consideration,
god, this was so smart.
Moonlight gives her a card and an address to a safe house. Moraga hurries off, wanting to grab her sister first, even though she knows it puts her in danger. Murasi then asks Moonlight if she has maps of the city to figure out how to get to the underground bunkers, but Moonlight replies she doesn't have them on her. Instead of going to the records room again, Murasi gives a cab driver the safe house address that Moonlight had given Moraga. Moonlight notes Murasi's intelligence in using that against her.
Yeah,
So yeah, what do you think about that, Moonlight?
that was so good.
Murasi's like, well, you said you didn't have them on you, so let's just go to your place.
Yeah, it works. So
Did you like that, Darkness?
Which part was this?
Murasi basically using the address of the safe house to
Oh yeah,
bring more
to
information and
just
stuff.
yeah.
She's using like the small amounts of information she's getting off of Moonlight to like basically.
If I was Moonlight, I'd be so like. I'm
I'd be
sorry.
just-
What did he say?
Huh?
Like that would be my reaction. Like
Mm,
what the fuck did he just say?
I think Moonlight's just very impressed. Moonlight seems
Yeah,
very impressed
same,
with
I would've been
Murasi
impressed.
throughout this. She's just like
Yeah, I
smug
would've been
kind of the
super
whole
impressed
time.
by that. That was some crazy shit. Like, really? Huh?
I just imagine the smuggest expression on Moonlight's face this whole episode. um,
I like code names.
Codenames. Yeah.
I
We'll get to codenames.
know.
Yeah. So,
I
however,
have such
Moonlight's.
a good fucking theory on people.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Moonlight says Murasi may not be let in, and then they would have wasted time. Murasi gets very upset by this and says that she thought Moonlight's organization was meant to help Scadrial. Moonlight confirms it is and agrees to let Murasi in, even if this is some ploy by Autonomy to fool them into not knowing her real plans. She also mentions how her reason for joining the Ghostbloods is to get her people allies against the more malicious shards. So yeah, what do you think about Moonlight's reason for joining the Ghostbloods? Because I had kind of mentioned in previous episodes, like, why do you think Moonlight is someone not from Scadrial is like part of the Ghostbloods who seems like their main goal is to protect Scadrial?
Wait, does it explain it?
Yeah, so she says here that her reason for joining the Ghostbloods is that she wants to help her own planet by basically getting allies. So she's basically trying to create an alliance between Cell, the planet where Elantris and like the Soul Stance and everything are from, and Scadrial. That's her goal in joining the Ghostbloods, is to get like powerful allies on Scadrial to also help her planet if anyone comes against them.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Kind of anticlimactic though.
What do you think about that, Mythic?
I don't know. I really like her. So
Yeah, I
she's
like
got
Moonlight
great
too.
reasoning, to be honest.
Uh,
Oh no, no, Midnight, totally not. No.
Moonlight.
What's her? No, what's her actual name?
Oh, Shy?
Shy. Yeah, I like Shy. Maybe not Moonlight, but I like Shy.
So the cab driver, who apparently is also a Ghostblood named Darkwater, drives them to the safe house as Moonlight mentions how they could possibly use the bomb test locations along with the set employee movements to track down the entrance to the tunnels. She does mention that she hopes the survivor isn't at the safe house though, as her mentor doesn't look favorably on Harmony's agents these days. So yeah, what do you think about the fact that Calcier apparently doesn't like the people that Harmony works with?
I generally would
I
not
mean-
either.
I don't know. I love them. They're awesome.
Also,
Great people.
I want y'all to know that you said it was Darkwater, right? The person
Yeah.
driving the first. That's my appearance in there. Like
You're
Hoyt.
Darkwater.
It's like Hoyt. Yeah.
I see. Instead of Darkness Pool, you're just Darkwater. You shortened it a bit.
Yeah.
So then we go to chapter.
He doesn't necessarily have powers, right?
No, I think considering they say there's only 3 full Ghostbloods in Bilming, I'm assuming he's a Scadrian that's like working with them, but not like technically a full Ghostblood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could be an Elementor or a Ferrochemist or something for all we know. He's just not like an off-worlder, is all. So who knows? You could have powers. So chapter 37, we switch to Wayne's point of view as he searches the alleyway for any signs of hidden set agents. As he does this, he thinks about 2 stories about people using electricity to go back in time, and them doing something small that changed things when they came back to the present. Wayne is bothered by this as he feels like people change the future in the present all the time, and that people should focus on what they're doing to change the future now, not in the past. Wax then pulls Wayne into a nearby alleyway by putting a hand over his mouth. Wayne doesn't protest as he can smell that it's Wax. Telson then stalks past them, searching for them. Wayne asks why Wax let her go, and Wax replies that he feels more like he escaped her. Wayne then says that Wax shouldn't take friends captive, and there are more fun ways to do that, like with bondage. Boyd then pulls up in a car, but Wax and Wayne avoid him to go into the busy streets as they think Telson will see them otherwise. Wax explains that he thinks Telson was stalling, and that they should try going to talk to the mayor instead. So do you agree that Telson's whole job was just stalling them here?
Yeah,
Like I
100%.
like I said, I do want to believe that like she actually cared.
Mm.
I mean, I wouldn't say her sole job was to like do that.
Yeah, but she obviously wants to keep him from interfering. But I mean, if she both keeps him from interfering and keeps him in Bilming, he's not going to get blown up by the bomb as well. I'm sure you guys enjoyed the whole apparently Wayne's into bondage with Melan.
Yeah, loved that part.
I love the part that
I can move a little bit.
I do love the part that instead of her being the one, yeah,
because it doesn't. There's no point in tying her up, so he's the one who gets tied up. He's good with that. He likes it. Wayne's very open to things. He's open to his girlfriend using a guy's body. He's open to like trying out bondage and stuff. He's fine with everything. So Wayne then suggests that they go search Entron's mansion instead of interrogating him, since interrogating him would bring more attention to them. Just like how Wax wearing his miscoat is drawing attention currently. Wax agrees to go search Entron's mansion, although Wayne mentions that they should send the radio message to Steris first. So do you agree that it was the right choice to go to the mayor's house and not try and like find him and interrogate him?
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, to be fair, if he is part of the set, he probably has other set members watching him. Although I don't know how good of a job they did at being sneaky in the later chapter.
Right.
So chapter 38, we switch to Steris' point of view as she confidently goes into the meeting about the Bilming crisis. Reddy had been invited to join in, and he had been allowed to bring some people with him, which now includes Steris, as he had added her to the payroll about 15 minutes ago. The governor does not look happy and states that he specifically excluded Steris from the group, and Reddy replies that he knows, and he thinks that's stupid. So yeah, what do you think about Steris and Reddy working together here?
I was all for it. It gave her an in, and I was like, you speak your truth.
Reddy actually takes her seriously, unlike other people. He's like, she explained it to me, and like, she makes sense. You guys are being stupid not inviting her into here.
I'm rereading what I can fully be ready when I debut these 2 people, because I feel like I've narrowed down who I think both of them are.
Okay.
But we haven't got there yet. But I wanted to ask a question. Okay. Will you, if I get it right, will you tell me if I got it right, or will you tell us who they are anyways, even if I don't get it right?
I was gonna tell you anyways.
Okay, good. Thanks. Thank God. Yeah. All right. I'm so happy now. As I'm reading this, I'm thinking, man, maybe these might be a little off. That maybe I'm not right on who this might be.
I think there's a high chance you have code names correct. I think there's a high chance you have Twin Soul wrong.
Okay. So
I'll just say that. All right. But I'm excited to hear I think that's next chapter. I'm excited to hear your theory.
Yeah. Have we met both of them, like, in the books we've read?
Do you want to know before your theory or after your theory?
Well, I kind of want to know before my theory, because I already don't think I know who. 1 second before you continue. I already don't think I know who Twin Souls is. Like, I don't think I have a name for him. Like, I haven't narrowed down a person that he works with, but I think I've narrowed down the planetary system or book that he may have been from.
Okay.
So, like, I feel like, and it's only so I only based these people's names where I narrowed it down when they get further in and they talk to Kelsier, or not, Kelsier.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Kaladin, but it's Kelsier. So I think because when Kelsier, or when they mention that Kelsier only wants the people who aren't like pretty much main characters, like absolute main characters.
He needs to be
It
the
made
main
me,
character. No one else is
yeah,
allowed to be the main
exactly,
character.
exactly. But like he pulls in the people who are like kind of looked down and are not looked at directly, right?
Yeah,
They don't
I
have
think
a
he likes
big
people who can
presence.
be sneaky, basically.
Hmm. Well, that kind of ruins my first person. Damn it. Okay, whatever. Maybe I am wrong. We'll find out. But I, I, I wanted to just say that I think I know who. Like, I don't know the name, but I think I have that planet for them specifically.
Yeah.
Based on that. So,
All
but
right, so you want
do we do we
so you
know who
definitely
his
know
name
code
is?
names.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I
Twinzel,
narrowed this
you
down
have
to like.
never met before.
Sort
We
of,
have never been to his planet. You
okay.
know nothing about him. This is the
We've
first
never been
mention.
to his planet.
This is the
No,
first
I'm
ever
still gonna say
mention.
that.
This
I'm
is the
still gonna say it,
okay.
but it's all
This
good.
is the first ever mention of outside in confirmed Cosmere stuff. This is the first ever mention of anything relating to like his abilities, his powers, him as a person.
Yeah, I didn't recognize his powers.
Yeah, there's
Um,
absolutely this is the first introduction outside of some unreleased stuff from Brandon's way in the past that he had initially
and
put out.
does this have to do with? You said it's related to what?
I said, I believe based on things I've read online since I'm caught up, that it sounds like there might be references to stuff about Twin Soul in like unreleased stuff that kind of like Brandon's like let out of like his really old works that never got published. But there's nothing current. There was nothing at this point currently published that related to that at all outside of him. There is one book we have not read that also references his powers and similar powers to him, but I don't think it's on his planet. I think
So
it's on
do
a
you
different
know?
planet.
So do you know what planet and shard and stuff like that?
I think they give the name of his planet. We'll get into it more. I'm pretty sure they give
We'll
the
get to
name
it.
of his
Yeah.
planet briefly,
Okay.
but we've never been there. I think it's like something with a P. It starts with a P, I think. He's like Prass
Okay.
or something.
I'm still gonna say who not who, but where I thought that person might have been from.
Yeah,
But
Prass. Oh no, that actually
class.
maybe actually that might be Trinsol's real name because Moonlight says, "I'm going with you, Prass." I thought she had said to Prass because she mentions at one point like, "I'll go with you to help with your homeland," and he's like, "You can't." But no, I think that's his
Got it.
actual name is Prass or like a nickname of his, not his.
Gotcha.
Because
I
they
have his
sometimes
name
refer to
anyways, so
yeah. All right. But yeah, no,
onwards.
the fuck did I write here? The group that
And then
mentions.
wait, so sorry, his powers are tied to a shard, obviously, right?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the group that mentions that they are thinking that going to war is the only option. They mention how the outer cities are recruiting people from the roughs and seem to also be getting ready for war. They also mention wanting the constables to join the military force, which upsets Reddy quite a bit. They argue back and forth, and Steris tries to speak a few times, but is spoken over, as Reddy continuously gets angrier. Eventually, Steris shouts that they need to listen to her, or she's going to puke all over the table, and she has medicine that will make her do it, so they better stop.
I love her.
So yeah, what do you think about the group trying to force the constables to join the military?
I mean, I just like the fact that he was like, the person was like, you can't force us, and he's like, that's kind of what a draft is.
He's like, well,
Like-
quit, and they're like, but I mean, it's forced military service.
Yeah, like that's kind of what a draft is, dude. Like, come on.
To be fair, they've never had a draft before because they've been like this peaceful like utopia for the last 300 years. So
Get with the times, man. Get with the times.
so once everyone has quieted down, Steris insists they need to evacuate the city. However, Lord Set insists they need people in the factories to help prepare for the war. Steris then states that the outer cities have not been attacking them, just complaining and building up their military. She says that she thinks that they know the people of the basin don't want war, but they're trying to provoke Elendel to attack first so they can justify bombing them. One of the council members, Lady Gardra, insists that this bomb idea is ridiculous, which causes Steris to believe she is the one Set member in the room. The governor and his vice governor were too obvious and likely being played by the Set. Steris then decided that it's the best time to reveal that one of the constables in the room is a Khandra, specifically Tensoon. She points out the unassuming-looking constable, but notes he walks a bit funny while using 2 legs.
I'm so happy. God, when she made the comment of like you walk funny on 2 legs opposed to 4, I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, it can't be. And then they said the name, and I'm like, it is.
So yeah, Tenzin is surprised, but agrees that he is a Khandra. Tenzin then tells the room that Harmony has confirmed what Steris has said, and they need to listen to her. Reddy is also upset that Wayne was right about there being another Khandra in his constables, which I love how that's what he's upset about. He's not upset that Tenzin's there. He's upset that Wayne was right about it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Steris briefly goes on about her different theories about who could be a Khandra. She says that she had once thought the vice governor was a Khandra, but the woman is too slimy, and then apologizes for saying something awkward, although it really doesn't sound like she gives a shit about saying it.
Right.
So yeah, what did you think about Steris's observations and also her insult of the vice governor?
I mean, I just loved this whole thing.
She's so great. She really shines.
The way she got in, the way she just basically tells all these people, like, literally fucking everything's like, the hell, man. Like, I told you there was a bomb and you didn't believe me, and now you're gonna believe me because this person came in? Oh my god, I loved her so much.
Honestly, second half of this book, any Steris chapter is just gold. She is like, she thrives in this, like, the city's under attack, all my plans are coming together, I will get shit done.
So, aside from that, right? So, with the information of these nobles that are supposedly on the set side and stuff like that, my thought was about, like, okay, well, I started thinking of wild things, right? Like, first off, one of the things of, like, she's going into this meeting with all these people. Which one of them is a set member? And then the other one was, what if she's a set member that's been put in his life? But then I kind of went through that theory and was like, nah, it can't be, because there would be no reason for Taliesin to be, like, so worried about him if they had a mole in his life.
Did you also enjoy Steris' chapter, Darkness?
I did. It was satisfying.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't like her before, but she's definitely become.
I know that's why I was saying previously in, like, the previous books, I'm like, I love her so much, but then I'm like, I can't push that on you, because I also did not like her much until, like, Bands of Morning Lost Metal time. So I'm like, I gotta back off, because it's understandable, because you haven't seen how badass you can be.
I mean, I don't know if it's as much of a badass, just in general, of, like, that she seemed very meek originally. Like, she didn't seem like she was there, and I think with her time with Wax, she's kind of gotten less meek, and I wish she would be more of, like, present in these things, and, like, actually kind of put her foot down in certain areas. But, like, I understand in the same vein, she doesn't really have that, like, option, right? She's not, like,
well, she's never had someone who actually, like, is, like, has, like, not really just trust, but, like, confidence in her and, like, her stuff. Like, she's always been the weird one, so she's like, I've got to hide that. And then Wax is like, no, I like your weirdness, I like all these things about you. So she's become more confident now being with him, because she's like, oh, this can be a strength of mine, I don't have to hide it anymore.
Which is great.
Yeah. Like, he's really helped her self-confidence a lot, which I think was her main issue, was just self-confidence. Because as she says in previous books, like, she's basically been, like, told by every single guy she's ever tried to date that you're, like, completely unmarriable, undateable, just, like, weird, don't come near me.
I mean, it's gonna sound terrible, but those people aren't wrong. Like, she is a very hard person. I couldn't fucking deal with her. Like, she's very hard to deal with. But, like, in Wax's world, like, she's definitely a need.
I also think not a lot of people could date Wax, to be fair.
Honestly. I mean, I think if anybody I was dating, I'd be dating Wayne.
Of course you would.
He's just so good, man.
So Tenzin then goes on about how Harmony is worried and blinded by the other shard. Their conversation is then interrupted by a woman who's by a woman who my mouth just stopped working. By a woman who had transcribed a message from Wax for Steris. She seems shaky and concerned, and Steris reads the message, which states the bomb is real and they need to evacuate the city.
Oh my god, when she was like, did you read this? And she was like, well, yeah, I had to read it.
I had to transcribe it.
Oh my god, I was like, oh, I feel so bad for you, girl.
Imagine just, like, writing that down. He's like, yep, go send it. She's like, oh, okay. Because she probably just wants to fucking get out of the city. She's like, I don't want to be here.
I want to save my family too, goddamn.
Yeah. But yeah, do you think that this, like, council of people the governor's put together is going to even like believe Wax's message, or they're gonna be like fuck Wax, because they've also been previously
Oh, I
like
definitely
fuck
think they're
Wax.
believing it. They're gonna believe it.
You think they're finally gonna believe it?
I think she's gonna make them believe it.
Her and Reddy are gonna be like,
No, no,
we're
no.
doing
You
it.
know what I think? This is what I think. I think they're gonna believe it because I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna be like, all right, we all need to leave.
Yeah, they're not gonna
Like
care about the city.
we are the people who need to survive. Who cares about the rest of the city? Only us. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think they're just gonna straight up be like, let's go, let's get out of here, get our families, and leave now, like right now.
Do you agree, Darkness? Do you think they're gonna like take it seriously, but also like say fuck the city, we're getting out?
About it that way, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So now we're gonna get chapter 39, which is, I'm assuming, theory chapter for you, Mythic.
Yep, it's gonna definitely be a theory chapter,
All
but
right.
I don't know if this is the chapter that I wanted to bring it out on. I think I wanted to bring it out on after.
Might be
I mean, I kind of already.
42, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of already made the comment about, but I think it was when after they went and saw Kelsier and all that, and like Kelsier kind of goes through
Is that not this
more stuff.
chapter?
I don't
Oh
know
no,
if
this
that
is
was
it's the next chapter. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the next chapter when they go up and
Okay.
this because that
I mean, it
because
just
part
continues
of my
Marassi's
theory
POV.
because
Yeah.
part of my theory on code names and who that is kind of is rooted in the
Yeah.
when they met Kelsier.
We can wait to that chapter then, but yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, sorry, because it continues her POV, like instead of going back and forth, I was like, I was thinking
Yeah,
it was
I
one
couldn't remember
chapter.
if it was this chapter or if it was like if it was multiple chapters together.
Yeah. So we switch back to Marassi's point of view as she stares at a townhouse, worried that the survivor could be in there. Moonlight seems pretty confident that her mentor is the actual survivor, and although Marassi has met death, she's still nervous about potentially meeting Kelsier. Moonlight gets into the townhouse by touching a metal lock that then opens, noting it as an identity lock. Once inside, they head to the left where there are a bunch of maps on the wall illuminated by electric lights. So first of all, what did you think about this identity lock?
That is insane, and I feel like it's only something she can do.
I don't think so. I think this
God.
might actually be ferrochemy or Scadrian technology that uses an identity like metal mind or something.
Oh, that would be cool too, actually. Well,
It's specifically like a metal lock.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's some sort of like lock that can be like keyed, like maybe it's like multiple technically like metal minds that can somehow be keyed to like each member of the safe house or something.
Oh my god, it's lock blood.
Because they throw out a lot of stuff in this book that like the Ghostbloods do without explaining a lot of it. So I'm gonna be honest, like I don't think they actually explain what an identity lock is. So that's why I was giving like a theory there, because I'm like, I think based on it being called identity lock and it being metal, that maybe it's Scadrian technology.
What's that talking sword again? What was it called?
Nightblood.
Nightblood.
Nightblood, Ghostbloods, and then the Lockblood.
I see. So a woman is sitting in the room, and she speaks about how a system called Bajendal is having travel issues, making 4 planetary systems, including Roshar, difficult to travel to. She goes on about how travel via perpendicularity is not viable, no matter how much the people from Nalthis try to make it be. She then notices Marassi and introduces herself as "Codenames are stupid."
Which I love. And I have a thing on this. Yep, I have a thing of why like that. Yeah.
She also mentions that the report she is reading is in Thalen, and that using connection to read and speak in other languages is cheating. Marassi asks her about Kelsier, and the girl says that Kel is out right now. So what do you think about how more and more systems are apparently becoming harder to access via perpendicularity?
Wait, what? Say again?
What do you think about the fact that apparently, like, there's more and more systems slowly becoming more difficult to travel to via perpendicularity?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I feel like that's just a show of the world is crumbling around them, and probably why. Shit, what's his name? I'm just gonna say Wit, to be honest.
Oh, Hoyd,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, Hoyd. That's the word I was looking for. How Hoyd is actually the bad guy.
What do you
is
think,
it not because like the shards are dying?
I think there's various reasons. We know that I'm assuming the 4 that she's talking about, because she says Bajendal is obviously one of them. I have no idea what Bajendal is, I'll be honest. She's saying Roshar's one, which there's reasons behind it, but I think I know, but it's stuff that happens I think later in Stormlight. But so I don't really want to bring it up with you guys at the moment. But I mean, you guys know shit's going down on Roshar, so obviously whatever the stuff that's happening on Roshar is starting to make it more difficult for them to travel via perpendicularity there. And I believe the other two planets are Autonomy's planet, because they specify in a few different books that Autonomy's kind of segregate off their like original planet so that you can't travel there, because that's why Chris can't get back to their planet. And then I believe the final one is Yolen, which is the original planet where like humans originated from, because people can't get there right now. So I believe those are the four. Which I'm surprised they're not mentioning like First of the Sun as something that's hard to get to. But considering First of the Sun is supposed to be written quite a bit in the future, I wonder if maybe Autonomy hasn't like put their avatar there yet. There might just like not be a perpendicularity there yet. So the Marassia begins looking at the maps on the wall, one of which is an incredibly detailed map of Scadrial that even has places they haven't mapped. She notes that the other maps are not of Scadrial and wonders what those other places are. Moonlight then asks Codenames to get Twinsoul, who agrees and goes off with her dog to get him. She comes back with an elderly man that after a moment Marassi notes lines of rose quartz running under his skin. He's able to use the crystal to create spectacles for himself and also create a pen out of one of his fingers. So what was your first impression of Twinsoul and his abilities?
Okay, well, this isn't partly into my theory,
Okay.
so it doesn't matter. But I think when I saw it originally, we'll just do that because, to be honest, the next part is all pretty much about Codenames, anyways.
Okay. So just the Twinsoul part.
Yeah, so the Twinsoul part. So Twinsoul, when he was first showed up and he started materializing all of this shit out of, I believe it was crystal. It started making me think of like the people from the Sand place. White Sand.
Yeah, from Taldane.
So,
yeah.
And then the thought, and this only came after you just stated what you stated, so it made me change a little bit of what I was thinking. Still think it's that planet, but we've never seen the dark side of it, right? The other side of the planet.
We've not seen it, but Chris is from the dark side, and she mentions how it's like always like twilight looking.
So what if this is a person from the dark side of that planet, and instead of sand, they manipulate crystal, which technically sand could be also seen as tiny little crystals, but at least that's what I have on here because I did a lot of research into sand. Because I was like, could it be? Could he just be manipulating sand that looks like crystal? Like, what is going on here? That's what I think. I think he's from White Sand. Because everybody has to be from a fucking different planet now.
He's not from White Sand. It has nothing to do with White Sand.
No.
There's definitely some similarities between the magic system on White Sand and the abilities of the people with his abilities.
I don't remember what the
Taldane.
area. Taldane. Okay.
Yeah. I'll get into. I have more notes about him and where he's. The little bit we get about where he's from later on when they talk about his powers a little bit more on the train ride. But yeah, he's from a completely different thing. And I'll talk about the Aethers, which is what he refers to it as later. But the one book that also goes into similar power system is Tress of the Emerald Sea. That's the other book which came out after this one that talks about it.
Did we read that?
It's in our list.
We didn't read it though yet, right?
No, we haven't read it yet. It's one of the ones.
I was like, I don't remember this.
Sorry. I thought you said, "Are we going to?"
No.
Tress, I was waiting until after Mistborn Era 2 to read. That was going to be the earliest I was going to let us read it. Was after Mistborn Era 2 because there's a couple there's like a couple Easter eggs in it about Mistborn Era 2. So
I gotcha.
Yeah. That's why I have like certain things where Tress had to be after Mistborn Era 2, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter has to be after Stormlight Book 3, and also, Sunlight Man has to be after Book 4 of Stormlight.
What chapter are we on right now?
This is chapter 39. Okay.
Because I feel like he says something that really set me onto the spiral of who Codenames was. So
there's a lot of hints about Codenames in here because you guys, she is from a book that has already come out. But yeah, what did you think, Darkness? What was your first impression of Twinsoul?
I thought it was cool. I liked his powers. His powers are cool.
They were very cool.
And then the fact that it leaches water from his body, right?
Yeah, so it basically dehydrates him. The water is what it uses to, like, so he basically, I mean, they explain it later, but he basically has been like infused with this like rose quartz crystal, and in order to expand the crystal to create things, it needs to take water to do so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Honestly,
It is insane.
it reminds me of Green Lantern.
I mean, it's kind of funny because like I was listening to this while playing Dune, which is a lot of about water
Yeah.
because it's a planet of heat.
Mhm.
So like I was just like, I'm playing them. I use water to do these things.
So Marassi asks how Twin Soul is doing. How he's doing that, but he replies that he can't tell her without Kelsier's permission, as she is an outsider. Moonlight mentions that Marassi is here due to emergency circumstances, and explains that autonomy is moving much quicker than they expected. She then asks Twin Soul for help determining how to get into the set's underground areas, and he says that Silajana would be happy to help. He also calls codenames by Case, or Casey.
Which, okay, so we don't need the rest of it, because this is exactly where I got it.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to ask a question before I go into my spiel, because if I'm wrong, then I don't have to go in my spiel. What was the woman's name? Fuck. Celine or something like that? I can't remember how it.
Serene?
That's it. Didn't she have a sister who was extremely fucking smart?
She had a cousin.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a sister.
She has.
I swear to God, I remember there being a really smart
She hangs out
person.
with her uncle and his children. One of who is a Rioted Elantrian that they were hiding, which is the autistic boy, and then he has a twin sister, and he has like 4 kids. One of which is yes, a very smart girl who's very good with languages.
Yes, and I swear to God, this was her.
It is. I believe
the way
it's
she,
is the name.
the way she talks about it, and then she throws out a fucking the glowing orb, and I was like, this woman is definitely from this fucking place. There's no way. When they said the name, though, I was like, I had no idea, and I had to go like literally back through notes of what I've made when I was making notes, and I was like, I swear there was a person. What was their name?
Yeah, I think it's technically supposed to be pronounced like Kaise or something like that because of how the Elantrians pronounce it. The Elantrians pronounce their names really fucking weird. But anyways, yeah. So yes, this is you are correct. This is Serene's cousin Kaise.
I thought it was sister though, but
yeah, no, because she also mentions talking about having a twin brother later on. Like, there's a bunch of hints. The fact that I think it's the fact that she's a twin brother. She knows she has like the Seon. And all sorts, and then she's really good at languages. And then obviously, I think her physical description, I'm sure, matches. But it's been a while since we've read Elantris.
Exactly, but like just when the Seon came out, I was like, they have to be this person.
Yeah,
there couldn't be no one else.
Yep, no, you got. That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure you should be able to get Kaise, but yeah, you can't get Twin Soul. Did you catch on at all, Darkness, about who Kaise was?
No, I had a feeling she was from that planet even before the Seon. But I had no idea who she was because I literally completely forgot about that person.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I remembered them because I thought they were the coolest fucking shit because they were so goddamn smart.
Yeah,
like they knew so much, and then when Kelsier's like, or I don't know if it's Kelsier or somebody else says it. I think it's somebody else who says it. That why they want Marassi.
Yeah, I think like Moonlight or someone says it.
Yeah, and they were like, oh yeah, Kelsier likes to basically pick the people who don't really have a huge presence in the world, right? Like,
yeah, they're not like well known. They kind of fade into the background. But they're still very like smart and intelligent. He likes collecting like
Marassi.
Yeah,
but like. That's where it started making me think it has to be a person who is not like really shown too much in the book or like given a lot of highlight and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I couldn't think of a name for fucking Twin Soul. But I mean, obviously now I know why I couldn't have even if I wanted to. But that's why I was like, Twin Soul has to be somebody from White Sand that I've never fucking met. Who did we go through? Because I didn't have any notes on this.
Yeah, no. So Twin Soul is a throwback to some really old stuff Brand had that he never published, and this is him starting to reintroduce that back into proper canon instead of being non-canon like old stuff. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it happens when you write books and you want to bring a character specifically from one of the books that you haven't actually.
I don't know if he specifically is a character from one of those books. It's just his power system, like. His powers in general have never been touched in the Cosmere canon until this book.
Got it.
So like it's stuff that, as I said, like he's always had like his view of the Cosmere of like every single part of it for a very long time. It's just he's only he's not fully brought in all of his like world building because he's still putting out books and stuff. So like this was, I guess, what he felt was a good time to start bringing in this part of the Cosmere.
It is a very good time. Very good time, Brandon.
Yeah. People talk about this book being the first proper like crossover book. Like where like you kind of need to actually start reading his other books outside of their series to like get a lot of information. Like this is when like the worlds really start colliding outside of the kind of like Easter eggy things. So
what was so funny, Darkness?
I was just thinking about that one dude that uses the water stuff, right? The water as a source of energy.
Twin Soul, yeah.
I was just thinking he would love to carry a bunch of hydro flasks around.
I think that's basically what he's doing. Is he's got a giant fucking hydro flask on his back. Yeah. So by the time,
or like those hats with the water bottles on the side.
So by the time
I love the way he talks.
Yeah. By the time Codenames comes back, Twinsoul has a chair made of his crystals. As he takes a while examining the rubbings, Codenames mentions that her brother would be able to do the math quickly, and seems a little sad. Twinsoul then makes a miniature version of Bilming from his crystals, which Moonlight tells Marasi are called Aethers, which are an ancient entity from before the creation of Scadrial. She doesn't tell her more, though, saying she'll have to join the Ghostbloods if she wants more information. Twinsoul then points out a few possible entry locations based on previous information they have and the locations of the detonations. One of these locations is a tire factory, and Moonlight and Marasi give the information about it to the others, who confirm it's likely taking in the supplies for the underground bunkers. Twinsoul and Codenames are concerned about how quickly things are happening, and Moonlight asks Codenames to speak to her friend upstairs. They also agree they'll need to contact Kelsier. So then we move on to chapter 40, where we're just continuing off of that.
Yeah.
We continue with Marasi's point of view as Codenames brings down a Seon. The ball of light speaks in a strange language, and Codenames translate that he was greeting Marasi and complimenting her hair. The Seon then turns into the head of Kelsier, and Marasi is shocked by how accurate the statues of him have been. They mention that Marasi is here, and she is surprised he doesn't seem upset, just amused, and mentions that they've been watching her. Marasi is unable to speak well at first, as she is in shock. She eventually tells him the information she has from her talks with Wax, who had talked to Harmony. Moonlight also mentions that they think the set will be moving on things today. What do you think about seeing a Seon on Scadrial?
Like I said, crazy.
Then also we got to see Kelsier, kind of.
Yep.
I would love a Seon.
Enough.
I want a dark version of them.
You want the Skays?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could do the same stuff, right?
We don't know. We only see the Skays for like a single scene. We have no idea.
Have you only seen them for a single scene?
Yes, I have no idea.
Wow, really?
They were like a little tiny feature that nobody ever uses.
Yeah, well, so remember, he is writing Elantris 2 and 3 within the next, I think, 5 years. So we'll hopefully get more information about them soon. So Moonlight also brings up how the set had been working on explosions using Trillium and Harmonium, as well as the picture of the Ashfall. Codenames mentions that the Ashfall for all of Scadrial may be Autonomy's idea for if the set fails, while the bomb is the set's plan to make sure that Autonomy allows them to keep control of the planet. Marasi jumps in again, asking for any help he can give. He agrees and asks how many Ghostblood agents they have in Bilming and how many they can get from elsewhere, but apparently they only have the 3 full agents.
This is it. That's all we got.
Yeah, but apparently they only have these 3 full agents here, and it would take too long to get agents from Elendel. Kelsier is also concerned that Sazed wasn't able to do more before he gets back from the south. Marasi suggests sending the Elendel Ghostblood agents to Steris to help her evacuate the city. So do you think Steris is going to get involved with the Ghostbloods, or do you think the Ghostbloods are just going to kind of like secretly help her without her knowing?
I think they're secretly helping her, just in general.
Like
right now.
It'd be funny if they just pull up.
The dude that let her in, I think, is a
Ready?
Ghostblood.
You think he's a Ghostblood?
That'd
be crazy.
Just the way I was like, wait, what? Why did this person randomly just be like, yeah, we're gonna bring this person in now? Like,
I mean, to be fair, I think they specifically say that she went to go talk to him because she knew he was being invited, and he's also worked with Marasi for the last 7 years, so he probably knows a lot about her.
It'd be funny to see some of them pull up, be like, "Hey, we're Ghostbloods, new organization.
We're Ghostbloods. What's a Ghostblood?
We're working with your sister.
Like, oh, really? Okay, it's okay. I planned for it.
Yeah, right.
She's like, I
I'll
actually
pray
know
for
all
that.
about you guys, and I've planned for this whole time.
Mhm.
I've been waiting for you guys to approach me. I'm so excited. Here, this is how I can help you.
Why did it take you so long to approach me? I've known about you for years.
Here's a
I have my
20-page
resume right
document.
here.
I have a resume.
Please contact me with any new information you have. Thank you.
So Kelsier tells Codenames to take her Seon to communicate with the other agents in Ellendel, since she won't be much help to Marassi. He also tells the group to use the jar's purified door, which causes the others to gasp in surprise. Kelsier says he'll try to get there, but he is traveling over the ocean and thus can't steel push his way to them, which would be faster than the airship he is in. Kelsier says he'll also try to talk to Says, but he's glad he at least sent Wax to try and stop things, as he often doesn't act recently. So what do you think about the fact that apparently Kelsier has his abilities back?
I mean, here's the thing. Does that really state he has his abilities?
He
Could
has at
just be
least
using a
steel push
person.
back.
Yeah, he could just be using a person who had
It's
that
true.
ability. Like,
But he's got at
there's
least
no
some
way.
form of allomancy, which he didn't have as a Cognitive
Yeah,
Shadow.
exactly. Well, I mean, he's now in the world, so
Mm-hmm.
I just assumed. I assumed he's a Mistborn still. That's just. I, I'm just playing a devil's advocate here because
Mm-hmm.
I was playing devil's advocate to myself, of like trying to figure out how he might not be uh, a Mistborn, but
Mm.
I still like. I believe he is.
Yeah.
I believe he
I
is
think
definitely a Mistborn.
I think the devil's advocate would be that based on what we learned from Mistborn Secret History, because allomancy is genetic, it's his body that's able to use allomancy,
Yeah,
not necessarily his soul.
yeah.
So
But I
it
mean,
would
if
make
you
sense
could,
that he would need a
but if he,
body that can use allomancy.
but if he could find a, I mean, well, here's the thing, right? I mean, that only shows the one in the fucking eye, the one
Mm-hmm.
spike in his eye.
Yeah.
But he could have more spikes.
He could.
And in all technicality, his brother has lived this long, so maybe he spiked a Mistborn before this
Yeah,
world went
it's
to fucking
possible.
shit. Who knows? Or maybe Saze just said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make a Mistborn."
Yeah, because to be fair, Zace
Scratch
was
one
able to
out of
do
the
a
fucking
lot more
sand.
the first, like, when he first became a god. Like, because he made Spook a Mistborn, he could definitely have, like, potentially made Kelsier a Mistborn, even if, like, it hadn't been, like, that very first day or two. Like, I wonder how long before he started getting super, like, unable to do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to be a Mistborn, but I could see the reverse of him not actually being a Mistborn and just using the powers, like,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, technically doesn't Wax push too? Or is
Yeah,
it,
Wax
yeah,
still
his is
pushes, yeah.
push, yeah.
Yeah, he's a push, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, so it's not like the powers don't exist.
Yeah, it's just that they're diluted, so it's less likely that you're to be a mis. It's like almost impossible for you to be a Mistborn at this point because of how
Why,
diluted the powers are.
why is Marsh still alive? Like, what power did he use
He
to
said
keep
he
him
had
alive?
stored enough atium to keep him alive at the moment. But he's running out. That was his whole thing with Marassi at the end of whatever book it
Yeah,
was that like he's like I'm because that was why he was in filming during this book was he's like I've been trying to search for the people who were trying to split harmonium because like I'm basically out of atium almost, so I'm gonna like die soon if I don't find more atium. So
gotcha.
apparently he had 300 years worth of atium stored up.
Which is wild.
hmm
I mean, hey, that's just the Lord Ruler being, much better than anybody else.
Well, the Lord Ruler was the
So,
one that was storing it with the Conjure, and they ate all the Conjure stuff. I'm assuming it was Ruin started gathering as much as he could for his Inquisitors when he like was freed, and Marsh took like Ruin's store of it that wasn't used.
yeah.
That was my thought.
So, question,
Mm-hmm.
right? Saze becomes Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
The the uh like Atium or Lerasium that existed in the world, would that still have existed? Like
Yes,
if
I
he
believe
didn't, let's say,
so.
eat it, would have still been there, right?
I believe so. Yes. I think it was
Okay.
only when it reforms after being used, it would start forming harmonium instead because the shards were combined. But I think what was already out there would have stayed out there.
But we know that. Oh, I mean, we don't know, but like it's supposedly there's only, you know, there was only the two Lerasium things left. So
Yeah.
Midnight,
Hmm?
there was a situation in the pits of Hazin or whatever the fuck they were called, right?
Mm-hmm.
where all the ATM was shattered, right?
Yeah, so all the ATM that was still forming, like he basically blew up all the crystals that formed the ATM.
How did he do that?
Hmm?
How did he do that?
He used his allomancy to like push and pull on the crystals and explode them.
But is it? I thought you couldn't push on god metals.
So he was
I mean,
pushing on the
Darlumin?
crystals.
Oh, I thought it was Starlumen, maybe, but
The crystals.
So I think he was pushing like partially on the like crystals, and I think also maybe because it's an alloy, maybe you can push on it
yeah,
a little bit.
I was gonna say, well, technically, it was apparently an alloy, so it wasn't a
Yeah,
god metal
I just know that
anymore.
like
It still has god metals.
yeah, I
I
just
thought
know
you'd
that
be able to
they
push up
specifically
it.
say in Mistborn Era 1 that like the ATM crystals, not ATM itself, but the ATM crystals react negatively to allomancy, which is why they don't have allomancers harvest the crystals and had to have people go do it by hand. That was like a whole thing.
The ATM crystals themselves is a whole different thing.
They're like
Then,
rock crystal things that the ATM forms out of. Yeah.
yeah, huh?
So he destroyed like the thing that was basically creating the ATM beads.
I wonder if Laurasium grows in the same way.
Yeah, we have no idea how Laurasium grows because like the Lord Ruler basically found a cave where there was some or something at the like the fucking perpendicularity way back when, and then he took a bunch of the beads, gave it to a bunch of nobles, and then saved a few for himself, and then like fucked off and remade the world so that he moved the pool and everything. So who fucking knows how and where Laurasium was made? Like it could be formed maybe in a similar way, or it could like we have no idea. You never got an answer to how Laurasium forms.
Do we know how Harmonium is formed?
The Malwish know they've not shared their secrets with
Okay,
the Basin people, but
like
the
the
Malwish know
world
how to
knows.
harvest it. Yeah.
The world knows how
What
it
if
is
the-
formed.
Yes.
What if what did the other guys just shit it out like the fucking Easter bunny?
Oh my gosh. So once Kelsier's face turns back into the normal Seon, the three Ghostbloods rush into action. Marassi follows Moonlight as she opens up an armory room and rushes over to a safe. She places her hand on the safe and says the passcode, causing the safe to open. She mentions that it isn't an identity lock, but instead an awakened lock that can tell intent in order to open. Inside the safe is 3 large jars of door, which glows brighter than electric lights. Moonlight explains that it is an unkeyed investiture that could power any investiture-related abilities, and it is made from the body of 2 dead gods. So what do you think about them having this unkeyed source of investiture that they're like storing for emergency situations that like literally anyone can use? Anyone with powers on any planet.
Wait, what they can use? What can
The
they use? My bad.
the unkeyed investiture. So like there's like basically like this liquid investiture called Door that's from Elantris. That's what the Elantrians were using to power their
Yeah.
castle in the cognitive realm and stuff like that.
Yeah. Why do I remember Aeon Door? What is that?
Aeon Door is the I think what the magic system is called for the Elantrians. They use Aeons that the Aeons release the door from the cognitive realm.
Wait, wasn't that the
give them
key to
powers.
unlocking the magic in general?
Yeah,
That was his name found?
yeah, so basically the 2 dead gods, they were apparently Odium shoved them into the cognitive realm when he killed them, and so all of their power is coalesced within the cognitive realm, and when they draw the Aeons, it like the different shapes cause the door to make different effects. So they're basically like creating a rip in between the physical and cognitive realm and
It's
allowing
creating a door.
yeah, and it's
Cool.
letting the power out through that
Hey,
Aeon.
no.
And so they've like captured like jars of this unkeyed investiture, and apparently just like anyone can use it, which apparently is super super powerful for Moonlight, but she says it's like not as good for like allomancers because you can't like go much further than a certain amount of power with the allomancy. Like you're more limited than like soul stamps are.
I have so much of this information just in my brain.
Yeah, Moonlight. So yeah, like yeah, your power system's just not as good as mine. Sorry, I'm just better.
I do like the Elantrians' power.
The Elantrians are most readers consider the Elantrians to be the most powerful people in the Cosmere because of how versatile their magic system is.
I wouldn't be able to use it though.
Nope.
No.
Because I'm fucking horrible at math.
I mean, it's also the only one that Hoyd can't use, right?
Yes.
Couldn't become an Elantrian. Yeah.
He's not been able to become an Elantrian. I mean, technically, he also doesn't have any Rosharan powers either.
What's from Roshar? What's Roshar's? Which one was that?
The oats?
The Spren. The Sprenos, yeah. He doesn't have a Spren.
That's a lie. He's gonna have one by the
He
end
has
of
a friend.
by the end of the next book. He'll have one. When
Mara-
Kelsey or when Calden dies in book 3.
I see. He
Oh
takes
my
Syl.
god.
Syl becomes his Spren.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that mean Syl's here somewhere on the planet with him? Since this happens after?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So Marassi tries to ask what abilities Moonlight has, but she doesn't answer. Instead, she begins gathering supplies from the room. She also gets some aluminum in the bait.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. Couldn't he have a shard blade though?
He could get
Like,
a shard
you
blade,
don't
but it
have
doesn't
to
give
have
him powers.
Yeah. I mean, wait, what are you talking about? I thought it did. I
Oh,
thought
you
the
mean
shard
the
blade
honor blade.
did give. Yeah.
Sorry, the honor blade,
Right?
not the
No.
shard blade. Shard blades and honor blades are different.
Okay. What? Yeah, because okay, wait.
The shard
Didn't
blade is the thing Adolin has. An honor blade was what
Yes.
Zeth had.
Zeth? Okay, that's who. Yeah. So but he could have an honor blade though, right?
If
He
he can
could
get
get one
one,
of
yeah.
those.
He could go get one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he
He just
could
has to go find one.
technically have a spren, quote unquote spren, because it's a dead spren, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, the honor blades are specifically ones that are not Spren. The Spren
Oh, yeah,
copied the
true.
powers of the honor blades. The honor blades are the
Gotcha.
only shard blades that Syl says is not bad.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was. All right, but he could have that, so
Mm-hmm.
he
'Cause,
could still have a piece of that
It's true.
that
Yeah.
world.
Because the honor blades were made directly by honor. The shard blades are a creation of the
Mhm.
Spren and their bond with the humans.
The shards. They sharded.
But anyway, so yeah, Moonlight goes on about how aluminum they make aluminum really easily and they like sell it out to parts of the basin to make money.
Oh
and
my
how,
god, the way he talks about that, and then her being just like, it could become more used. Oh no,
Yeah, and she's like, yeah,
more
we
bullets.
think she's like, we think scientists are gonna figure that out soon too, and it's gonna be like cheaper than tin. And Marassi's like, this will completely change everything.
The world will be different. Oh my god.
Marassi wonders why they like her over Wax, and Moonlight says that although Kelsier likes attention, he chooses people who tend to be forgotten easily, and Wax is
Yep.
also spoken for. They then meet up with Twinsoul, who seems to have a bag full of water and is wearing an ornate sword on his waist. Marassi is worried for the frail old man, but he is determined to come with them. Moonlight and Twinsoul both look to Marassi for guidance, since this is her mission, so she heads out and asks for them to lead her to the nearest train station that will get them to the tire factory the quickest. So, do you think Twinsoul's going to be helpful in a fight?
I mean, I feel like his abilities could be, but I feel like he might not be like useful.
His
Like, I think
abilities would be insane in a fight.
Yeah, but I don't think I think he's just not as good in a fight, you know?
Oh, does he?
We don't know.
What?
We don't know how old he is. We just know that he looks like an old man.
Oh. Man.
She says he's got like gray hair and stuff.
He's
That
an
could just be
old-
the fucking color of his hair at this point.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know much about him in general. So.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's 20 with wrinkles.
Then we got chapter 41, where we switch back to Wax's point of view as he waits outside the mayor's mansion for Wayne's distraction to be going on. He notes that it's getting into the afternoon and hopes the mists come out tonight. Once it's time, he runs across the lawn and pushes himself up to a second-floor window. Unfortunately, the window is fully locked, so he has to instead increase his weight when he pushes on it to break the lock open. And once inside, he begins searching the room, knowing that Wayne's disguise and act may not distract any set members watching for long since they know about him. Wax finds a letter from one of the Ellendale politicians that Moraga had a letter from with incriminating information. However, this letter seems to be like general pleasantries. He grabs it and then goes for a calendar, which after noting a few things, he sees that there's a note for today stating, "They arrive," with no appointment for after today. He worries about this and grabs the whole calendar page to bring with him. Wax then begins searching the room while burning steel so that he can see all the metal in the room. With more and more metal being used, he was able to see much more of a room than he had when he was younger. So what do you think about how allomancers are both getting more useful and less useful in different ways due to changes in technology?
I mean, not much use for him in general, so.
I don't know, they were talking about, remember, the fast food delivery guys using speed and Bendaloy and all sorts of things.
Yeah, but I mean, if you could just do that with. Wait. I just thought of I got a theory.
Okay.
So Kelsier's quote unquote body, right?
Mhm.
What if it's just a like constructed, it's not an actual person. What if it's a constructed thing by these people who have
Mm.
access to things? Like what if, because he's like heavily regarded in their society. So
I
what
think maybe
if
the
they built
Malwish
him a
somehow
body?
mate something for him.
Yeah, what if they made him a body?
That'd be interesting. I
And
also
then
wouldn't be surprised if they just sacrifice their bodies for him if he
that's
needs a
true
new
too.
one.
I
But
mean,
then okay, but they can't use allomancy though. Like that personally, right? They only use the things. I mean, so maybe then he's not even using allomancy anymore. He's actually just using a medallion or whatever it is that
Maybe.
allows him to do that, because we haven't seen all the medallions. I mean, at least that's the
Yeah, I think
assumption
they
here.
implied that they weren't showing all of them, but also they were pretty sure that Marassi and I think Wax were pretty sure that they didn't have like access to every power, just by the way they were acting in the last book, but also they definitely weren't sharing everything they had.
No, but I mean, would you share something with people you don't really like? I mean, come
No.
on, like,
what if he just skinny dipped in the pool?
Okay. Um,
wait, who skinny dip? Wait, who's
the
skinny dipping? I
Malwish,
want to
I'm
know.
assuming, into the
No,
perpendicularity.
Kelsey.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe what if like that's what I'm saying? What if he just got his powers like that?
Possibly.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. I got distracted by the pool.
Okay. Waxen locates a safe hidden under the floorboards under a couch. He moves the couch and he hears shouts from outside and notices it's an allomantically locked safe. He knows that they can either be for people with steel or iron and hopes it works for him. He feels lucky when the first two pins of the lock open with his pushes, but the third one apparently needs to be pulled on as it resets if you push on it. A safe that only someone.
Which
Hmm?
it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
just crazy that like, first off, even before what you're about to say,
Mhm.
before they said it, I was like, so this just means that they had to be like both
Mhm.
things. Like they have to have both. Like so, it's just somebody with hemalurgic spine,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, so he's like, this is something that only someone with hemalurgy could open. He knows he can't open it and is about to abandon the office when he hears people
Or a
screaming and
Mistborn.
smells smoke. He finds a trapdoor in the floor and heads down to escape unseen. So what do you think about
Could also
Entrone
be a
using this
Mistborn.
like safe that only a Mistborn or a person using hemalurgy could open?
Yeah, I mean, kind of hoping it was just a Mistborn to be honest. I was like, oh, spook!
Hmm.
It's spook!
I'm fully convinced Elendel is bossing Sai.
Oh my
Does that
god!
mean Belming's the
I
Fire
got
Nation?
Oh my god!
no. I think this is like
Bossing thing.
no. This is like not Ang era, but more Korra era,
Mm,
where
Oh,
the Earth Nation is divided.
mm, I see.
Yeah,
Alright, final
yeah.
chapter. We switch back to
uh,
Merassi's. Hmm?
real quick,
Yep.
for a question for Darkness. Obviously off topic because what kind of questions do we have if they're not off topic? Um, have you seen the person who does the voice of Toph, like all her social media and stuff?
No.
Oh, you should totally go watch her. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Alright, final chapter.
Just something you said kind of reminded me of something that I
Uh,
watched.
we switch back to Merassi's point of view as they sit on the elevated train line, moving at speeds that Merassi thinks only Mistborns like Vin could do in the past. She tells Moonlight and Twinsoul that she needs to properly understand their abilities for the operation to work. Moonlight makes a joke about her abilities before stating she has three soul stamps that she can use. When Merassi looks lost, Twinsoul explains that soul stamps can rewrite objects, and that she has one that can make a door and one that can mend objects. Moonlight says she doesn't have time to make others. She also has one that rewrites herself, but she doesn't want to speak much on it, and Twinsoul gives Merassi a look to not push it.
Hmm.
So what do you think Shy's essence mark is? Because we know she had quite a few in the past. Like she used to have like 5 or 6 in her original book. Now she's just got one with, or at least on her at the moment.
What an essence mark is. It's when it
Yeah, I
changes
did.
her. Right?
Yeah, the essence marks are the ones that like completely rewrite her past.
How many did she have?
I think she had in the past, like in her original short story, she had like 5, and then she's saying she only has one, at least on her right now.
And then we did get a description of which one she could use in the past.
Yeah,
right?
so she had her special one, which is the one that like made her forget everything and like think she was just like some random normal woman. But she had like her
Yes.
fake uncle and everything. She had one that made her like a martial arts warrior. She had one that made her like look like a beggar. And she had like various ones like that where they gave her specific skill sets, different skill sets basically.
So
Only she could use them? Could she use them on other people?
No, you can only use them on yourself.
Huh.
But like, they take like tons of work, so she was always like in the past really upset if like when they got taken away from her, remember? So that was one of the things she got back before she escaped the castle.
Wait, wasn't she supposed to use a stamp on someone else?
Yeah, she had to create one. That's what the whole story was her creating one for the king because he had like brain damage.
Yeah, but she said she was able to, right?
Yeah, you can
Yeah, she's
make
able
one
to
for
make
other
one
people,
for
but she
somebody.
couldn't use her own on him.
Yeah.
And then what was it supposed to do?
It was just supposed to give him back his memories, remember? Because like he basically became brain dead because of an attack on him, and so they were trying to restore his memories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if she could do that, can she also alter people physically?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think she
she-
altered herself
she-
physically.
She could rewrite. She can rewrite history. So
Yeah, like
I
that's
assume
how she does
she
like
could
the
probably make
beggar
them
and the
always look
martial
a
arts
certain way.
one. Is like she made it so like in the
No,
past you
but I
exercise
meant
her.
like literally physically, like not her what she knows that she can do physically, but like her actual body. Can she
Yeah,
change
like
her
her
actual
actual
body?
appearance.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say
Eh,
appearance.
to a
just
certain
like
point of genetics. Yeah, like she can be like, oh, my dad was actually this type of person, so I have like this slightly different look to me, or like I was actually born a man, so now I'm a man, or like I worked out a ton more in the past, so
so
I'm
what
like
the
this
fuck
big
stops
muscular
her from
person
just
now.
like stamping Kelsey her new body?
I don't know,
That
maybe
can
she does. It just takes
Yeah,
her
maybe
like
that's
a year
how
to do
Kelsey
it, but maybe she
that
does.
body.
Kelsey has had 300 years.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like she definitely could be behind helping Kelsier get a body. Like maybe, as I said, like who knows? Like maybe they sacrifice a Malwish person and then she stamps the body so it matches Kelsier and he takes over it.
He never died.
But it does take time to do stuff, so I guess it makes sense that she has to work with familiar things
Yeah.
like herself.
Yeah, because she said basically the hardest part about doing the king one in her story was like you need to know so much about the person that it so easily could go wrong or just not stick. Because like you can't know someone's inner thoughts. She had to like guess at a lot of things based on how he acted and based on his past experiences from like histories and stuff. But Kelsier can just tell her that stuff because he's a cognitive shadow, so he could just talk to her from the spiritual or from the cognitive realm. Be like, hey, this is how I think about things. So it might be easier when like he's helping her. But yeah, so Twin Soul then explains his abilities, which comes from a primal aether named Silajana. He states that he can only create things he understands and that he needs to use water from his body to fuel the creations. He also cannot keep things around that are not touching him unless in very specific circumstances that do not exist on Scadrial outside of their safe house. He also explains that the aethers are from before Adalnasium, although Moonlight insists that they've been around since before the Shattering, but there is no proof they predate Adalnasium completely. Apparently, Twin Soul also cannot go to his home planet, and Silajana says they must stay in exile until it is safer. So what do you think about these aethers, which, I know this was a question Mythic had earlier, they are completely unrelated to the shards in Adalnasium. They are completely separate, godlike beings.
Which one?
The aethers. So Twin Soul does not get his powers from a shard, he gets them from an aether.
That's so weird.
Didn't we
Why
see that
would
somewhere?
No, we have not seen that before.
You sure?
Why?
Not even in the like that one book where it's part of the scholarly stuff or whatever.
No, they've not.
Why would I just don't. Here's the thing I don't understand is why would you create something outside of your own universe?
So they're in the Cosmere, it's not outside of the universe. These are beings
How
that
do you have
exist
somebody who has
alongside
powers that
Adalnasium.
don't? We've literally all we've learned is about how everybody has a power based off of the shard's presence. Yet then there's this random one person who can have a power that's not
Yeah.
a part of
So
a shard. That's weird.
So again, the Tress of the Emerald Sea, the whole power system on Tress is aether based. There's no shard, no perpendicularity, nothing like that relating to shards of Adalnasium on the Tress's planet. It is all aether based.
Tress is which one?
Trust of the Emerald Sea.
Which one?
The book is
Wait,
called
what is
Trust of
it?
the Emerald
No,
Sea.
Trust of the Emerald Sea is the book.
Yeah, no, but I'm asking what that.
It doesn't have a thing yet. Oh,
It doesn't. Okay.
It's
yeah,
a
it's not a.
standalone book.
Yeah, it's not a part. Is it a part of the Cosby? I mean,
Yes,
obviously it's a
it
part
is
of the
part of the
Cosby, but
Cosmere.
like,
We read.
Hmm?
Have you read it?
No,
no.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We're going to be reading. I literally just talked about this like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Trust we're reading. I didn't want to read till after Mistborn Era 2.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it
It,
has a lot of spoilers for this.
it doesn't have a lot. It has some Easter eggs, and I've been trying to
A
make it
lot.
so that you guys get all the Easter eggs possible. From our reading order. Yeah. So his powers are completely unrelated to Adonasium. Apparently their history is that apparently they somehow completely predate Adonasium, but Moonlight does apparently not believe that. Moonlight's like, that's not possible.
I mean, okay, so yeah, okay, wait, maybe that does make more sense now that I think about it. You're right. Okay, because if it could be before Adonasium, I could see then it not being a part of the whole system of
Yeah,
powers.
so
I
they're like,
guess.
yeah, Twin Souls claiming that the Aethers are older than Adonasium. They're like older gods, which, I mean, we don't know how Adonasium was created. Maybe Adonasium technically was created from powers from the Aethers, but he condensed into like a bigger thing. Like, we don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. So it could be
What
related
Adonasium?
somehow.
That'd be hilarious if Adonasium turned out to be a shard.
Yeah, he was a shard the whole time. A shard that shattered another shard. Oh my god! One shard turned into more shards.
That's cool.
There's
It's kind
16.
of
There's 16 other gods.
Oh my god.
this is set up like kind of like the Greek gods, because then you
Oh
have
yeah.
like the gods, you have the titans, the giants,
Mhm.
all that, and then at the end you have like chaos and all that.
Yeah, so I believe the Aethers are on a similar-ish plane to the shards. They're as far as I understand, based on some knowledge from Tress, they are not as powerful at Adonasium. They're like a less powerful thing, as I said, maybe similar to like shards in power. I'm not 100% sure because we only really have the one book. Which is why I was saying maybe Adonasium like formed from like combining a bunch of the Aethers together or something. I have no idea. I don't have a lot of Aether knowledge. Yeah, so finishing off this chapter, they then briefly discuss using Moonlight's soul stamps to get into the building without using a door, since Moonlight can make a door as long as it isn't from something like undisturbed stone. They then get off the train, moving through the crowd as they make their way to the factory. However, the factory is much busier than they expected, and Marassi wonders out loud if they can get into the elevator from the back of the building instead, although Moonlight still worries about the amount of people. Although Marassi then notes that the set will likely be focused on Wax, and they might be able to slip in because they won't be the ones the set are looking for. Overview questions. Do you think Wax and Wayne are going to be separated now for the rest of the mission since Wax went down that trap door, or do you think they're going to meet up again soon?
I mean, I feel like they'll come back to each other at some point.
Now they're gonna be separated until like the very end.
Do you think they're going to be able to stop the set from bombing Ellendale, or do you think Ellendel's going to be bombed at the end of this book, and that's going to lead into the third era?
Oh, that'd be great. I want to go with the second option. At the end of the book, it's gonna get bombed.
Everything goes away. Boom. And they have to live in a post-apocalyptic world.
I don't think it's going to be a post-apocalyptic world. It's just you'd be living mainly in the other cities.
The world.
Do you think Autonomy is going to march their army into Scadrial during the book, or do you think either the set or our main characters are going to stop it?
I don't think that's happening.
Okay.
I think it's gonna get stopped.
What do you think, Darkness?
Huh.
Is this the last? Wait. Is this our last episode after this?
No, there's still 3 more.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
We're like a little over halfway through the book.
I mean, that really depends. Cause like, it could go Tulsin's way, where if she bombs it, it works out. It could also not go her way. She bombs it, and they still march in. They could stop the bombing. They still march in. There's a higher chance they're just gonna march in.
I see. All right.
Because like not bombing and them not marching is not an option.
I see. So that's the end of our episode. Next episode, again, another 11 chapters, chapters 43 to 53. And yeah, thank you guys all so much for listening. We really appreciate you. And we'll see. Oh, thank you to our page. Why do I not have my Patreon list at the end of this episode?
Wow, Midnight not
That's
prepared.
horrible. Where
Guys,
is my
Midnight's not prepared.
Patreon list?
She doesn't love the patrons anymore.
Thank you to our Patreons, Hubris, Calvin Dies in Book 3, Kyle, and Danny the Spoon Lord. We appreciate you very much.
Lord.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
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 There it is. There's the harmony.